Hey, it's almost the end of the year, and you know what that means. We've got another weekly Weeb news. That's right, 7 of these so far. That's 7 weeks of us talking about this stuff, so that's pretty awesome. Here to help me talk about this is the lovely Miss Nerdigans. And of course, we have some pretty interesting news.
Yes, we have a lot of interesting news and also probably some frustrating news too in regards to the world of One Punch Man, as the title implies.
Seems so. But before we jump into that, we do have some McDonald's news. Now, this is the Western McDonald's. That's right. This is our side of the pond or our side of the Pacific. I don't know what they call it. But here in America, they're apparently trying to claw back some, I don't know, nerd cred, maybe?
Yeah, I
And
mean they tried to do it with the Yu-Gi-Oh Hello Kitty toys.
what a weird mashup that is.
Yeah.
But we have the 30th anniversary, of course, of Pokemon. It's going to be celebrated by McDonald's. Now, of course, that's going to come nowhere near what we grew up with during the Pokemon movie promotional stuff and all the other jazz. So,
And that's what people were talking about too in the comments where I found this tweet. They're like, why not have the toys? Why not have like the gold cards with the Pokeballs? Maybe it's just a Burger King, like Burger King has the rights to that, and that's why. I don't know.
well, for the lineup, though, we have the greatest of all time. Now, I have no idea if that's going to be some specific franchise or if that's just random plastic toys that McDonald's had laying around in a warehouse. So I'll have to wait and find out. Now, of course, at the end of that, February into March is the Pokemon cards
That's gonna be
30th
so
anniversary.
hell. That's gonna be freaking hell. Because you know,
Yeah.
if I don't know if it's gonna be as much of a pain in the ass as it was in Japan, mind
Oh,
you.
yeah, of course.
It might, it could be possibly worse than it was in Japan.
I think it'll be 10 times worse because in Japan they have like a civil order to things. You know that when the magical McDonald's Charizard card is out, there's going to be a shooting. They're
Yeah.
just going to open
Oh yeah,
fire on that
that's so true.
McDonald's.
I agree. That
You know,
yeah, there will be a shooting for that.
they called the police when they didn't have chicken nuggets once. I
Oh my
mean, do you
god.
really think they're going to tolerate not having Pokemon card? You really, there's some people's lives that are depending on this after the CS:GO skin market collapse. So there's some desperate hours out there. In March, though, we'll have the amazing digital circus. This
That's
is
the one that,
apparently
yeah, this is the one that I find the most fascinating is the amazing digital circus.
that's not exactly a children's series, but it's also not exactly an adult series either. It's not a
It's like a
teenager
good,
series.
it's kind of a good balance, you know?
It has a lot of heavy moments that you might not want to subject your 5-year-old or 8-year-old or 12-year-old to, but I think your 16-year-old could wrap his head around most of it.
Yeah, the amazing digital circus is really like it's something I'd say like 90s Nickelodeon would show.
Yeah,
Like
it's
in
right
the
up
Ren
there
and
with.
Stimpy era, or like even like early late 90s, early 2000s Cartoon Network would show like a Courage the Cowardly Dog kind of situation.
Yeah, it feels like Courage. That's probably a better comparison. It's very surreal. A lot of random, horrific things randomly happen, but the good ending is secure.
Yeah, it sounds more like, more I'm thinking about. Yeah, it sounds more like a Courage like this generation's Courage the Cowardly Dog, but like more surreal.
Yeah, we've got Shinkai Atsuya here saying, I think I've said that right. Going to be so much food waste like that other time they did it. Yeah, no, of course. They're
Hmm.
absolutely going to bury you
Well,
in wrappers and stuff.
well, the other thing is too is I don't know if McDonald's US still does it, but you could buy the cards separately. You don't have to buy the meal. You used to be able to do that, but I don't know if they do that anymore.
Um, Sakura Media, we will talk about that a little bit later, as there's finally enough Gavon Infinity information to talk about it rather than do a bunch of speculation. So I've just been avoiding speculating on stream because a lot of what I think is going to be very wrong. But we'll get back into the McDonald's list here. Oh, by the way, hello, Dante. Welcome aboard. This is the American McDonald's list, believe it or not. If you're just tuning in, that's why it has so many random things here. Whatever Hoppers is,
That's
that's
the
going to
Pixar
occupy.
movie.
Is that related to Zootopia?
No, it's a separate movie.
Oh,
It's Pixar's new movie.
oh, DreamWorks did Zootopia. Okay, that's
No, that was Disney Animation did Zootopia. Pixar is the one that's doing Hoppers.
huh. I didn't know there was a difference.
Yeah.
The Super Mario movie will be occupying April's McDonald's toys, so you get your greased up Luigi's.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
The wonderfully weird world of Gumball,
That
about
one's a weird
10 years
one.
late.
Well, I mean, the sequel for Gumball is coming, and I just
Oh,
think that's a really interesting one that McDonald's is doing is Gumball. Like as you said, like if it was 10 years ago, especially like that would totally make sense because that one was when Gumball was at its peak.
yeah.
But now it's like, really?
This is the equivalent of nostalgia baiting people who aren't really at the nostalgia level yet. That's what we're at. See, what would be a good comparison for this? Like Sonic Crossworlds has nostalgia that you want. You want the Sonic Riders, you want the hoverboards, you want all the vehicles, that sort of thing. That's the nostalgia that you want because those things are in the past. Last time Sonic was on a hoverboard was on the GameCube. Okay, so that's or the Wii, one or the other. But it's one of those situations where that was a long enough time ago. Gumball hasn't really been off the air or concluded long enough for for the people who were seriously influenced by it to be in line to get this. And if it's a Happy Meal, that means it's for kids. So that means the kids weren't like alive or cognizant the last time that Gumball was popular. So that's why this is so bizarre to us. Is it's I don't know. It's like having Back to the Future toys show up. You know, it's really bizarre.
Like if it was like an adult Happy Meal, that's one thing because that'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But
Oh, it's so
regular
so
kids meal, like, come
pain.
on.
Adult Happy Meal pain. Oh,
Ugh.
don't give him any ideas. Anyway, we have the Mandalorian and Grogu because everybody remembered that existed, right? We all knew that was going to be a thing somehow. Toy Story 5 will be, excuse me, the Pet Simulator. See, RJ, I'm already doing what they said I was going to do. RJ McReady said this is skippable, and I skipped right over it already. You got me, dude. You got me. But it's the Pet Simulator, and my guess is you get a random dog and cat, and they're like, there you go. That's your thing. Goat Simulator would have been better, but then
Dude,
again, it's just a goat belong.
Goat Simulator is such a key. Like I remember watching Team 4 Star plays Goat Simulator. That was a trip.
I don't know
Oh,
anybody that can't have a good time with Goat Simulator. It's just the minute
exactly.
you fire it up. We have Toy Story 5 in June. Now, of course, we all know that Toy Story is going to continue forever. Unlike One Piece, where people want that to continue, this is going to go on for another 40 years. And we're doomed, basically. So just get used to that one. Marvel Studios and Marvel Television. That's right. You're going to get toys of the Marvel sets, apparently. And because they can't name what's supposed to come through here. Or it's just going to be like, get your She-Hulk toys, get your Echo toys, get all the toys that we made in the anticipation. Oh, this is how they're going to liquidate all the Eternals toys. They're going to buy them back from Ollie's, crack open the boxes, and stuff them in the Happy Meals. There
Oh
you go.
God. This
You
has
get
got to
your
be for
12-inch Eternals figures with your Happy Meal.
that's got to be for Avengers Doomsday, right?
It's way early if that's the case, because that doesn't come out for another year.
Then yeah, then
And
I
we
don't
knew
know
that.
what that is.
It wasn't like Anthony Mackie's Captain America that like had McDonald's toys a whole year before the movie came out.
I don't know what Marvel movies coming out this year.
I
Is that
don't
coming
know.
yet?
I don't think any of them are. I don't even think they have a television show. Like Marvel Zombies is out, but again, like you're gonna do a McDonald's toy series of that?
Like that makes no sense.
Right. I mean, I want to eat a cheeseburger while I'm looking at the rotting flesh of Red Skull. You bet. That sounds awesome. Dead Iron Man with your French fries.
It's not even in
Cool.
October either. Like if it was in October, I'd be
Yeah.
like, okay.
It makes a little sense, but it just I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Maybe it's just like I said, they found a warehouse full of McDonald's toys in China, and they were like, well, I know what we're gonna do. Minions 3, because again, we are never escaping sequelitis. I hope you're excited to get yet another round of Minion stories. I think there's already a Minions 3, isn't there?
No.
Huh. Oh, it was the one. Okay, so they made a third Minions, but it wasn't called that because it was Gru going on his adventure as a spy. And so it wasn't
It
they
was the
got
Rise
me.
of Gru.
Right, they got me because that wasn't number 3. That was a separate. That was like Hobbs and Shaw, where they were trying to screw with us.
Yep.
You
The
see, it's
Sonic one
actually
is
Minions 4.
interesting. The Sonic crossovers have been very interesting. There's because we've had the Sonic recently, the Sonic DC crossover, which is the second wave of toys from what I know of anyway. They haven't come out yet, or they haven't been seen in stores yet. I'm just hoping the quality control is a lot better on them because I've seen like openings of some of them and like the arms for some of the figures have like just fallen off or they're very top heavy and they fall backwards.
Yeah. It's one of the fatal flaws of moving that type of character into an action figure is that the body proportions with the rubber tube arms like
Yeah.
they have in those big gloves really don't lend themselves to posability. It was the big problem with Goku's big flowy pants, whereas action figures have been wearing tight clothes. So they don't.
Yeah. Well, like
Goku's
it's
big
like
pants made it hard to give him a knee.
well, these Sonic figures are like I think the most articulated figure Sonic has had. Like they're extremely articulated.
Don't worry, awesome one. I know you didn't mean pizza butt, but that is funny. I got to remember to call somebody that someday. Remember to call him pizza butt. That'll give him a complex. But speaking of pizza butts, we do have the Forgotten Island will be occupying September, October. And I think that's just another children's franchise. And then I think they may have blew the surprise on this. There's a Cat in the Hat production apparently in October.
Well, yeah, there's I know about the Cat in the Hat movie, so this is probably going to be around the time the movie comes out.
Oh, okay. I thought that they had maybe like blown the reveal here that there would be a Cat in the Hat production. But
no, they announced it. They announced it earlier this year.
Well, and on the topic of pizza butts, though, we do have yet another annoying thing going on in the Orient, if you prefer the phrasing. Oh no, it's racist to call it Orient, right? Anyway, over in mainland China, because for some reason they're getting the cool stuff, they have a Gundam Wing and Pizza Hut collaboration that is issuing Gunpla models in specific Pizza Hut colors. You have Wing Zero here sporting a white, red, and minimal black motif. Of course, gold at the edges because China. And of course, the big green glowy piece in the middle of it that I thought was going to shoot something when I was a kid. When I saw that on Wing Gundam, I thought that was like the I'm firing my laser shooty thing, but it's just a big glass dome that you don't even look through. It's just there. And then, of course, Epion gets tricked out with the Pizza Hut logo up on its wings. And, of course, as you can see, the colors of China are very proudly represented here. It's very annoying. It's very annoying. But the thing that's interesting about this is they ended up making a two-headed dragon mascot for Pizza Hut now. Because that's what Epion transforms into, is a two-headed dragon.
All right.
So, yeah. I mean, that's pretty badass. I mean, if you're gonna go Pizza Hut, you might as well make your mascot a two-headed dragon.
Why not?
Right, but over here in the United States, we don't do that. That's not fun.
We can't even have the Noid, like I think it was Domino's, right? That had the Noid. You can't even have that anymore.
And I'm not sure what's on these pizzas. Could be pineapple. I'm okay with that. I'm one of those guys. You can, put me into Guantanamo, I guess. You can waterboard me for that. But it also might be lemon, and it could also be a bug because it's China. And if it moves, it gets eaten. Ask yourself, why are there no birds in China?
It's kind of surprising there are still dogs and cats in China.
Yeah. Boy, that is just an awful rabbit hole to fall down. By the way, they got their neat little cakes with Wing Zero's face printed on them.
We never get anything cool here anymore. I
And
mean,
we get Gumball 10 years later.
McDonald's Japan gets like the cool, Grimace and Birdie and
Hamburger.
Hamburglar mascot commercials that we had in the 90s. Like we don't even get that no more.
Nope. Nope. Now our McDonald's gets shot up when it doesn't have the right Charizard cards. That's how that goes.
Yeah.
But pineapple pizza, no, just no. Yeah, I don't know. I'll knock it till you try it, I guess. But you'd be surprised. Tomato and pineapple go together surprisingly well. The Spaniards were onto something. What if they made a Cat in the Hat horror movie? Well, I think the copyright limitation is going to run out on that eventually. So you'll find out. That seems to be the first route for anything that falls out of copyright into public domain.
Well, the live action was pretty scary.
Yeah, I think that had more to do with Mike Myers, though.
Yeah, he was kind of scary as the live action.
He was really like a murderous one, really out there to cause trouble. But I have Kenny F. Power saying, I used to fuck with the Gundam model kits back in the early 2000s, would customize them some. Well, the new ones now are easier to go together. They're of a lighter plastic that take to the paint better. So you might want to get back into it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot more people. I've seen a lot more people customizing their Gundam model kits. And I think they even have Gundam model kits that are specifically made to customize, if I remember correctly.
Awesome One says, I had a Disney Star Wars Coke can for about a decade in my cupboard. It's gone missing. Better check eBay. You never know. Somebody may have found it. But, where did I put that? There it is. Speaking of finding it, I found out that Kyoto Animation came back. And they've been around. And they're doing things again.
Yep. So. Kyoto Animation, this is very interesting. So Kyoto Animation has jumped on the Shonen Jump board. And a lot of people are pissed that it's not a battle series. But like, for those of you that don't know about Ruri Dragon is a slice of life series that was originally in Shonen Jump, but due to the mangaka's health issues, it moved to Jump Plus, which is the digital service. It is a very, very fun series about this girl who found out she was a half dragon, half human, and she's getting these powers and just going to school. It's adorable. Navigating through, it's very relatable too.
Yeah. Who doesn't feel like a dragon when they're in high school in Japan?
No. Well, no. I mean, like she's trying to navigate her everyday life as a half dragon, and you would think it wouldn't be relatable, but because of how down to earth it is. It's very relatable. There's the jump symbol, see?
Okay.
And then here she is. Here's Ruri. And it's her birthday on the 28th, so that's why it's even more significant. Because they could have announced this at Jump Festa, but they didn't. It's so pretty. Look, that is just so pretty.
Oh, okay. So she's another one that kind of looks like 2B, right? From
Are you talking about Darling in the Fran?
Yeah, that one, right?
Yeah, kind of. She kind of looks like that. She looks more human because she's right now anyway. She is just getting dragon traits. Her dragon traits are coming in because it's puberty. She's hit puberty. So she's gotten it starts off with her horns and fire, and she's gotten I think the most recent power was ice breath. Yeah. But yeah, like it looks so pretty. It looks exactly like the manga's art style. It is beautiful. I can't wait to see it. I know some people like are all pissy because it's like, oh, it's lollipop. Mofo, she is in high school. What do you want?
I didn't get that out of. She's She's flat chested to begin with, and she's wearing a collared shirt with a tie.
She's
What the
wearing a
hell is
uniform.
lolicon about this? This is just a young girl in high school.
Yeah. Well, technically, you could make the argument that she is a lolly because she's flat chested and short. But like at the same time, it's like, dude, even if she wasn't a lolly, it's like, who the fuck cares? She should see. Look at that cover because that's the outfit she's wearing. It looks exactly like her.
Yeah, they did a good job mimicking the art style for the animation, but I'm still confused about this one because it's like, why? I don't understand. I guess it's just that hyper alertness or hypersensitivity to teenage characters being in media. Is that what like Euphoria did to everybody? Is that if there's teenagers in it, there's sex in it? Is that
I
what they
have no
think?
idea. Like I don't. But the thing is that with Euphoria, the people that are complaining about underage anime characters aren't complaining about Euphoria at all. They're fine with it. It's a very xenophobe. It feels like xenophobia. It's only an anime that's the problem.
This guy gets it. Awesome One
And
says
manga.
lizards don't have boobs. And that
No,
makes
no,
even more sense now. She's half dragon. Dragons don't have boobs. That'd be really weird if they did. Especially the Oriental dragons, because they're all long and snaky. So, like, would it be one boobs or lots of boobs? Like a chain of boobs? Either way. But this again, it's very bizarre to go around like hurling this is lolicon at this when it's been in Shonen Jump. And I guess because the Japanese are more comfortable with young women being in bathing suits and fashion that you'd see at Victoria's Secret. That's not underwear stuff, but like
yeah.
bathing suits and um, gown wear that otherwise would expose the stomach and maybe bare the hips. This sort of stuff is, I guess, considered sexualization of a child, whereas over in Japan, it's just idol culture. It's just what idols do. It's so. I guess what I get
So
tripped up
bizarre.
on. Well, I guess what I just get tripped up on is that it's just the automatic assumption of
They're so offended. It's just the weirdest thing to me. It's like, dude, it's a drawing. Why are you so scared of a drawing? It's not a literal child. It is just a drawing where the same people, they don't get offended by South Park, which is a lot worse. They don't say the same thing about Family Guy, which is a lot worse. No, it's only the Japanese characters, the Japanese anime and manga characters that are like, oh, that's a literal child. It's like, it's a drawing. And it's the same thing with video games too. Let me include that. It's just so baffling.
Yeah, I mean, I understand where people can feel uncomfortable about seeing child characters portrayed in sexual positions. I understand people have their preferences. They can get upset about that. This doesn't make any sense to me. I can't find a road where they're like, this is child exploitation. I can't find a road to that. She's literally, the jacket doesn't even open. There's nothing. There's no skirt. There's no upshots. She's just turning around, looking at the camera. I can't find the child exploitation in that. I just
Well,
can't.
they are just like, oh, because it's lolly coded, it's good. And also they are quote unquote traumatized by Dragon Maid. They're like, oh, this is going to be pedo bait and shit like that. It's like, come on, just don't watch it. Just don't watch it.
I don't know how they would even get to that, but I
I'm
guess.
just like, anytime I see these people like bitch about anime or manga or video games, I'm just like, dude, just don't go to the beach.
That's true.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said it's very
They're
kind
offended
of.
because it's not theirs.
That's why I said it's kind of xenophobic in a way because it's not. They only target Japanese art. Well, I should include Chinese art too because Genshin is in the equation as well. Hoyoverse properties get included too.
Hibiki Gamer says, hi, Nerdigans. Japan is being forced to censor anime or face the consequences on Chibi Reviews video because of the Western companies.
I don't believe it's a face the consequences thing. I think Chibi's been taking it out of context and like trying to exaggerate it. The thing is with the censorship, from is there's the Japanese time slots that you got to deal with, kind of like what we dealt with in when television was still a thing. Because remember, Japan is not on full on streaming services like we are here. Television still exists. Back in the 90s and 2000s, we had the Karens running shit, and they basically censored anime up the wazoo because it did not fit their values. And also there was broadcast regulations back in the day, stricter broadcast regulations back in the day. Remember, Cider, about the stricter regulations?
Oh, yeah.
So that's why there was a lot more censorship back in the day. What I understand with One Punch Man, this is what people were telling me, is that One Punch Man, for some stupid reason, was in a children's time slot. It's a CNN series. Why is it being put in a kids show time slot? That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's freaking stupid. But it's not you can make the argument it's a Western thing, but I don't think it is. I really don't think it is. If it's made for a specific streaming service and they're dictating it, I don't even think that's the case either. Because who's running the show here is the production committees are running the show. If Crunchyroll, from what I understand, for co-produced stuff, Crunchyroll's not even calling the shots. From what I understand, they might have like some say.
So we'll jump over to that.
We'll jump over to One Punch Man.
Just so we're on screen with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I do want to interject on that. What you're talking about, though, is I do believe that China does play a big role in that. In the 1950s, they banned porn, and they have been censoring anime. They've been adding clothing over cleavage, all that stuff for a few years now. So
here's where I agree with you on this one, Cider. Because a lot of the animation was outsourced to China for One Punch Man season 3. I think that's where this is the theory anyway. That's where it might come to play. I don't think it's a Western influence. I think it's a Chinese influence.
Yep. Arguably, see, Japan's been in their globalized market approach. They have been trying to appeal to China more because they're a very large market.
Yeah, China's, I would say China, based on what I've seen from investor reports, China has a way bigger market than the US does.
So we have Carl Carlson, Automatrix 66 Coney, saying censorship of entertainment on Japanese television began in the 1990s when revisions were made to Japan's Broadcasting Act from 1950. So, yeah, I imagine there's some of that too has been part of it as well. A lot of the stuff that we came up with that was rooted in the late 80s, early 90s. That stuff, of course, as noted here by Carl Carlson, that went the way of the dodo pretty quick. Again, over the years, it's been arcing toward cleaning up what it is to be a product because, again, corporations seek to make the most profit. And where they see the most profit is in the most watered down, milquetoast, smooth edge product they can produce. Much like what's happened here with One Punch Man, with the various bizarre choices in censorship that have done nothing but really poison the interest the fan base had.
Well, this production has just been a giant clusterfuck from what we've seen. Like, we know that it was in production for like less than a year. We know that based on one of the animators said that that animators like left at the last minute, and one of the animators who's well known and well beloved had to like jump in at the last second to take over for them. And I'm going to be real with you. Bug Films, who's done this, happens at studios that put out great animation as well. Bug Films, who does Zom 100. From what I understand behind the scenes, it's a clusterfuck over there. They had animators from like Shaft and I think maybe even David Productions over there, and they were leaving. You had animators walking out. That's how bad it is over there. They were leaving, and that's why Zom 100 went on hiatus, was because of that. What JC staff did here was completely irresponsible, because if you had animators walking out like this, that should have not happened at all. They should have just put it on hiatus. Aoki here is very, very prominent and well respected in the community, animation community. It's really goddamn bad. But look at that. Look how much he had to take over. That's insane.
Yeah, that's quite a bit to jump into, I guess. But again, we had this other note over here from Sarka saying One Punch Man Seasons 3's assistant director, Miyuki Ishida, and she's credited in that role as of episode 3. She was Boy Girl's assistant director earlier this year and even had responsibility as the episode director for its finale. Possible she didn't join OPM until June, July of 25.
I wouldn't be surprised by that because I remember the interview that was done with the Studio One's producer. They said that they were just getting started working on One Punch Man or prepping to work on One Punch Man season 3 while they were working on Boy Girl. And this was like, my guess is this was in December was when that interview was that's my guess was in December. Okay. It is just goddamn wild. It is wild.
Well, speaking of things that kind of went off the chain, and of course, none of us are fans of season 3 of One Punch Man. Let's make that clear. But one, being the creator of the series, has to show some fealty because of, how contracts work and perhaps his own opinions. But he says this, and you can guess how it went with the tourists. One Punch Man Anime Season 3, Part 1. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed seeing so many more characters come to life with voices and colors, as if souls were breathed into them. I also extend my heartfelt gratitude to everyone involved in the anime production. Thank you very much. He posted this. So that, of course, had people who were very upset about it. We had someone with a measured response here saying, yeah, whatever. We all know you can't talk the truth about how trash it is. Keep up that professionalism. It's how people keep their reps. Don't worry, though. We all know how disappointed you really are. So I don't understand how can be happy with S3. While no one deserves the hate for season 3 deserves the hate for it. Season 3 is worst rated anime series ever.
It's not. My anime list, the worst rated anime on my anime list is X-Arm. And it has like a 2.8. So, yeah.
Smiling emoji if Bandai is holding you hostage. Oh, that's good. That's funny. So, again, like there are a bunch of people that came out and had a problem with one having anything positive to say. And it, of course, spiraled into a bunch of attacks. So,
including one person who said that one should burn down JC Staff's studio. I'm dead serious. It was one of the comments from this morning. I saw it. I'm like, really? Certain people, and I'm going to say this, certain people who are straight up tourists are gaslighting people into saying this. And I'm so disgusted by it.
We're also dealing with the Western audience that has been very not fun to associate with. We have Dude Man explaining some of it here. He says, I don't think Hideki Anno thoughts on him not wanting anime being focused on global audience. I don't think it's that simple. Tons of anime like Panty and Stocking, Cowboy Bebop, and Samurai Champloo, whatever it was.
Shampoo.
I always called it Samurai Shampoo. Was failed in Japan, but it was very successful over here in the West. Shinichiro Watanabe, I think I said that.
You mean, Shinichiro Watanabe.
Shinichiro Watanabe said himself in many interviews he has a lot of love for Western audiences for watching his anime, like Space Dandy and stuff. Shinichiro, he's the director behind
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, and Space Dandy and April and Tuesday. I want to say that's what the name of it is.
No, that's a different one.
I thought he directed that one where the two girls were singing.
That's Carol and Tuesday.
Sorry. And that didn't he direct that one?
I think maybe he did.
Yeah, I guess it's always music focused with him. The music drives a lot of his storytelling, which is great. So yeah, for whatever reason, those stories aren't as culturally, I guess, precedent as we have with over here with them. It's sort of like how Cowboy Bebop was banned in Japan and then it did very well over here and things softened with its release over in Japan. So it's it's not a I don't think it's necessarily a failure in the Japanese markets per se. I honestly think it's the fact that it is a very American style presentation. Now, you won't notice that looking at it on the surface, but it behaves very much like those 1970s road trip movies where people who don't ordinarily fit together are together. It's not a one-to-one fit, but when I say Smokey and the Bandit and Cowboy Bebop have a lot of DNA in common, you have to dig for it, but you'll find it where the characters are very similar in their execution, but of course different in visually how it's done. And I'm not saying that Watanabe followed what was happening in Smokey and the Bandit. What I'm trying to explain is that type of uh, I wouldn't say ignorant or grotesque, but this out of step mindset where the hero, the protagonist, isn't a clear hero and is a bit of an asshole, a bit of an unlikable character. That seems to be pretty unique to how Americans like to tell our stories about our unsung heroes. It's kind of like how Mad Max isn't the guy you want to sit down and have coffee with, but when dudes wearing, assless chaps on motorcycles break through the wall, you want Max's help, you know?
Yeah. Well, the thing is also is that a lot of Japanese creators will come out and say that they're influenced by Western movies and TV shows and stuff too, and comics. I mean, look at Horikoshi is the best example of that.
Exactly.
So it's not like it's a complete like we hate the Western. No. They do like Western stuff. They're influenced by it. Hell, Isayama is influenced by Western history. Look at Attack on Titan is based, especially later on, you see it. He kind of was inspired by the Holocaust for Attack on Titan, like later on. Look at Full Metal Alchemist, and Full Metal Alchemist isn't set in Japan. It's more of a European kind of setting. So you can't just say that like they hate the Western audience. They don't hate the Western audience. No. And the Western audience isn't at fault here. Like completely. No, it's a lot of these newer people that aren't even fans.
Well, and that's
like, I'm going to say this too, because I saw this with Manoichi last night, is that people are consuming their media on TikTok and Twitter. Sure. They're not even watching or reading the material at all. They're just watching it on clips or via clips on TikTok or via memes.
Yep.
That's the thing.
That adds up. But speaking of catching clips, we do have the anime versus manga One Punch Man season 3 episode 2 breakdown.
Oh, or you mean episode 12? Yeah, episode 12, this is really, really bad. Oh my god. There is censorship, but like censorship is not the reason why this anime is bad. No, it's the designs themselves. There's the freaking disco lights. There's the movement is ass. Like censorship is like the least of this anime's problems. Look at that. That is horrible. That is just like the pink works on Puri Puri. It does not work on Pig God here. It does not.
They probably thought they were clever making him pink like a pig. That was probably.
Oh god, it looks so bad. And also it's way too small too.
Yeah, they flatten scenes so often. It's just so bizarre what they choose to draw more of. It doesn't seem to ever serve them well.
Viki Gamer, I'm saying censorship does suck, but that is the least of this anime's problems. Censorship is the last thing, the very least of this anime's problems. You got the flattening happening. Look at this. This is flatter than a board.
Yeah, it's like Carl Carlson says, echoing you here. Censorship is only adding further insult to injury with One Punch Man season 3.
Like this is it's just so bad, man. Oh my god. I just don't like that. Look at that. Look how flat that is. That angle was such a choice. Oh, that was such a bad choice.
Oh, of course it's animated. That's what I needed to see. Okay,
Oh,
so
that movement was that actually it did move, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Dude, oh my god. I'm telling you, Pickup was on Ozempic.
he's a little smaller, but not by much. But it is the way that they drew him made him look much smaller
Yeah.
because the way the ground is so featureless. This is the point of adding tiles, because
Mm-hmm.
tiles give you a sense of scale. So when you have a character that is large, having them in a room where there's features that offer scale helps. When you give them like a CGI PNG background floor thing, it's very difficult to decide if that's a cloud that he is riding on or poured concrete, if he is 2 inches tall, if he is 10 feet tall. It's very
Dude,
hard to tell.
I just realized what he looks like. He looks like a Karen.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What do you mean the manager's not available
He
today?
looks like a Karen. Oh my god. Oh, why I didn't realize that yesterday.
Wait a
Dude,
minute.
Karen is fighting fighting a wait, when I say fighting the manager or fighting a mascot.
Something like that.
Oh, look at this. Look what they did to this man's back. First of all, that background is horrible. That color is so bad. It flattens it. Oh my god, I hated that freaking background. Also, you could tell something's going, the muscles are just wrong. It
Yeah,
looks
they look like armor.
yeah, and then you don't have the spine, which helps add the dimension to it. That's another thing that, and I think that's a product of it being rushed, is the lack of dimension. Because if they had more time, you would be able to see the separation. But look at Insect God right there. What the fuck is that? What the hell is that? That like you cannot tell me like what is this blur? What is this blob? And also, it's
They could
so
have drawn in a
dark.
couple of extra fists to make it look like he was doing something other than having his arms shredded. That's what it looks like.
But also, like, look at that, how dark that background is. They're trying to mask their mistake. Oh, like, where's the light source coming from? Oh my god, my poor boy got sunburn, or not, when I say sunburn or radiation burned.
Yeah, radiation burn kind of applies.
It looks
It
so
kind of,
bad.
if you squint your eyes enough, it just looks like a brain. It just looks like a brain.
I
Doesn't
didn't
look
think
like
about
any.
that.
Well, when it first showed up, I was like, "Oh, what happened to this dude's brain?" But I was like, "Oh, wait, those are hands. That's a head. That's not inside the head. That's
Oh
a
my
whole
god. And
dude."
then there's that nasty green too. Oh my god, that's so horrible. Now this is where I'm like, yeah, that's radiation burn. That is a radiation burn right there.
Yeah, Dan to Dan hit this production like a nuclear bomb. No pun intended. But they saw that and they're like, "Oh, we got to do the neon colors with our guys now." But it sucked.
Look at what happened to his head. So
Yeah.
small. This purple, like, come on. Okay, the problem with this is there's no light in the foreground, and it just is like you can't see anything. The background's great, but it's that not having any light in the foreground that's just killing the shot.
He's not exactly separated. I think that's really the bigger problem. Is that had he had like like that green was forming an aura around him, or at least half of him,
Yeah.
it would have helped break him away from the background, but he gets this part right here gets swallowed up into the background very quickly. And then of course down here, all you're really allowed to focus on is this shoulder and this part of the arm. Again, like it's just these strange decisions they keep making.
Look at that. Look at that. They censored her thighs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty, yeah. That's what they do.
This background, this is a good background because you get contrast. It works. But like the muscles look so bad.
They could look worse though.
It could look worse, but it looks bad.
I appreciate that he doesn't have nipples. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Dude, this face is just a blob.
realize we were 1,000 frames ahead on that. Jeez. There.
That's a blob with red eyes. That's a blob with red eyes. And
yeah,
there's two
again,
people missing.
it makes it look like the
And
face
there's
is like built into a wall, and it
But
is
it's not.
emerging from a wall because the head isn't colored to be different from the body. Because light would be traveling down behind the head,
Yep. To give
and
that
this makes
separation.
it just looks like an angry booger.
It does. This one's okay. Could look
Sepia
better.
tone. Yeah. It's pretty lame looking, to be honest. They could have done something. I think there's supposed to be a memory.
Yeah,
Is
it's a
it?
flashback.
Yeah, they could have done a lot better with this. Especially, this would be the time to use those goofy neon colors because he's obviously a threat in this image. This would be the best time to use those goofy neon colors in a memory sequence to heighten the awareness of danger.
But they
But
didn't.
no, it was sepia, like it was the 1920s or
Look
something.
at that. That is a blob.
Yeah, again, I guess he doesn't really have a neck to be differentiating from, but at least the coloring is clear that the head has some type of separation.
I will agree with that. Like, this is a little bit better that there is at least some shading that gives it a little bit more dimension. But like, it needs some light. It needs a light source or something. Look at that. Dude, it's so PNG.
Okay, so here's the dumb thing is that because the way they shaded this lower mandible, the upper one looks like a big old mosquito nose.
No, like, you can't even, if you look down, the claws are not even there. Like, it looks like just like one big glove.
Oh, yeah.
See, look at that. It looks like one glove. It looks like a glove. It doesn't look
It's like
he
how
has
AI
claws.
didn't. It's like how AI didn't know how to make a fist that was pointed at the camera for a while, or an open hand pointed at it. It was just like some blender hand thing.
That's why, like,
Not
when I saw,
yeah.
like, I see everyone like bitching about Tatsumaki's content. I see people like talking about the Saitama stuff. I see no one else bitching about this. I'm like, dude, how do you not notice this? Like, this is probably the worst part of the episode. Look at that. Look how bad that is.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a big old mosquito nose.
And that background makes it worse.
Mm.
Look at that. Like,
well, they took the threat out of him without the glowing eyes, that's for sure.
Yeah. Dude, what the fuck is this? And also, dark shine is censored. No one's gonna point it out to you but me. But like, I know you don't like it, Cider. But like at his hips, the Speedo is expanded. So yeah, his Speedo is covering him up a little bit more.
Can't complain.
That's why I figured you wouldn't complain. But it's equal opportunity censorship. Dude, like, well, seriously, that is some 4-kid shit.
Yeah, like, that's really boring. It's like he's trying to fist bump a hollow from Bleach.
Like, no one's talking about this either. Everyone's so focused on Tatsumaki's censorship. No one's talking about this.
Yeah, that dude is like being completely blown apart over here. And in here, he has like a snack hole. It's where you put your Snickers when your hands are full.
Rover actually does not look that bad. You look, that's the least of this episode's problems is Rover.
That's pretty normal.
Yeah. It could be a little bit more floofier and have like on the top specifically, it could use a little bit more, but like it doesn't, like, it's the least of this episode's problem.
Oh, it's a flash animation. Oh. Oh, it's from Newgrounds. Oh, dude, it's so bad. Dude,
it's the second episode in a row where we had Newgrounds.
Wow.
Dude, we had, first it was with Black Sperm and now here. And no one, like, I think people are talking about this one, but like, dude, that's some Newgrounds shit is right. We are really back in like, what, 2009 or 2006 with this kind of
Black One
Newgrounds.
Punch Man. Black Punch Man. Yeah. But I yeah, that was definitely a Newgrounds animation. This one here, they kind of forgot what they were supposed to do.
Yep. And that background is ass.
It's not even a background. Just a black void. And then
Let's get to the sit because oh god, hopefully they kept the animation in for the sit. Look at that run. That run's actually not bad.
yeah, that was
Here we go. Look at that. That's not as impactful. Like, come on.
oh, correct. It's not the same, but compared to what else they did this episode, I can at least give them credit for drawing more than one rock.
Dude, see, the forkidsing of Zombie Man continues. Look at those intestines. They're all blacked out. Dude, even the head, if you look at the stump on in the manga, you see blood. You don't see blood for the monster. See, look at that. It's all white.
Yeah.
In the
A
manga,
swipe
you see
mark.
blood.
Yeah.
Poor Child Emperor just gets it bad. Like, it's crazy. Puri Puri's like the one that's gotten the best animation in this season.
How about that?
Flashy Flash has been okay. But see, Tatsumaki's ass is censored. It's all covered up.
They're trying pretty hard with this. Again, I think that has more to do with the Chinese. I'm
feel
sure
like
the
it has-
Western.
I feel like it has something to do with the because again, people mentioned to me that this is in a children's TV slot.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, this is definitely like the 4Kids thing of One Punch Man because it's in a children's TV slot. It's not in a late night slot. King looks really flat. Dude, like, come on.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
It's not that bad. Dude, this mofo should be way uglier than this. Black Sperm actually looks okay. He actually has dimension this episode compared to last week where he looked like a blanket.
Yeah.
Kitties. Kitty looks okay. Notice there's a person missing here.
Yeah, they decided that was too much to draw.
And also the shorts are there too. The censorship shorts.
They softened her muscles and gave her a huge ass.
Yep. But this is part like people like are so focused on the female censorship. I'm like, dude, this is just JC Staff's MO. They censor like the majority of female characters they do. So that's nothing new.
It's not even the same robot armor.
Nope.
It's a completely different armor.
Nope. Dude, I hate this fucking color palette. I hate it so much.
See, it works for Dan because Dan uses it in a proper environment. The art style like complements that use. This art style does not do that very well.
No.
Of course, they're always burying the characters in the shadow, so these hard contrasts just make it harder to look at the character as opposed.
But that's the point. That's
Right.
the point because they want to hide their mistakes.
Yeah.
Dude,
So-
that's okay.
Yeah, they didn't draw the smoke because the smoke is too much to animate. So that makes sense on why they did that.
Could be worse.
Yeah. It doesn't look like the cat is striking him though. It looks like the cat's
No.
about to strike him. So
That blue red is okay.
like I said, the character would do well to have like, you know, when characters in anime are struck with fear, they have like a blue background behind them.
Yeah.
This would be the place to put that blue background, not that weird Wizard of Oz Emerald City background.
Yeah. This isn't that bad. The Gyoro's animation has just been weird.
Oh yeah, there's a butt crease that's missing.
Yep. Dude, that face. Look at that face. It is just bad. Besides the obvious censorship, that face is
flattened it.
horrible.
Yeah, they flattened it.
And also, they made her legs look a lot smaller in general.
See, it's strange because the way that they draw her like this, her body is proportionate for an adult. When you thin her legs out like that, her body becomes proportionate for an adult. You see, she just kind of looks like a flat-chested woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you kind of, I don't know, maybe that was on purpose that they decided we'll just do that now and then people can't get mad at us for lolicon or whatever. So
well,
I don't know, but
big
it's
too. I mean, it's not skin tight either.
Yeah.
It doesn't look as intimidating.
They did kind of flatten it. Not by much, but they did change the angle on him a little bit.
Yeah. That dark green works, but that yellow though, that yellow green.
Yeah. Lemon lime.
Yeah, no.
But that's how her powers manifest, right? Isn't that green?
It's more of a darker green.
Oh, it's a surrounding green.
Also, like that close up is just a choice, man. I mean, it also the dress looks baggy too. It just makes me question. I'm like, what was the choice behind? What was the decision making behind that? Like something. This red is really sickening. Now, this is how if you're gonna do color, this is how you do color. I like this red. This green looks really fire too. I like this green.
Yeah, they shrank her power. So
yeah, they did.
How that's expressing, they really very underwhelming.
Mm-hmm. See, there's the censorship again. Her boobs look really weird too, but I think that's because of her pose being really stiff.
I think that they also made her boobs bigger for this scene.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like, but at the same time, you look at her pose and she's kind of leaning back a little bit.
That's true.
And that's why I was thinking that maybe it's because she's really stiff, but her boobs still look really weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like part of me, as I said, part of me is thinking it's because of her pose. Not she's not leaning back. I'm just this green is the right shade of green though. I'll give you that. But like the movement and stuff, it just oh boy. This is like, okay, this is where I got to draw the line. So remember Thousand Eyes Restrict in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters back in 2000? Yeah, that's what this should have looked like with all its eyes open. With Gyoro should have looked like with all its eyes open. Like Thousand Eyes Restrict. If they could do it in the early 2000s, why couldn't it be done here? This looks okay. I think the red washes it out a little bit. I think it needed maybe a little bit more green. Even Kitty agrees.
Surrounding her, like she's radiating that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually, for Gyoro, I'm not mad at the color choices. I just wish it just had more eyes.
I'm trying to count. But yeah, you're right. They're not. Again, it's more. They don't have any up in the little.
No, they don't.
Straw things here.
No, there's no excuse. As I said, there's no excuse for it either because they were able to do it in Yu-Gi-Oh! With Thousand Eyes Restrict, where the eyes were literally everywhere on that monster's body. So there's no excuse for that to not have that.
Sorry, I had the super sneeze there.
Dude, look at what the fuck is this? Like, come on. I also kind of wish the color was a little bit different. I don't like this color choice for Gyoro's form. I wish it was a little bit darker.
He looks like chewing gum.
Yeah, exactly. He looks like chewed up gum. And there's the
Oh,
censorship again.
yeah.
Both her
Yeah.
ass and Giro's explosion.
Oh, yeah, he's exploding. I'm kidding. But
Yeah.
they flattened her expression there
I
too.
hate this color palette. Oh my god, I hate it so much.
Yep. I gotta tell you, like, Dan to Dan will be recorded as the worst thing that ever happened to One Punch Man.
Look at that. Look at the thighs being censored. Like, that's why I'm like, yeah. As soon as someone said, yeah, this isn't a kids slot for kids TV shows, I'm like, yeah, that just makes so much sense on why there's so much censorship.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh had a lot of sketchy stuff in it, but
Yeah, and they
DP
got
Game
away
was
with
right.
it.
You know, we had it. You know, I want to say there was plenty of upskirt shots of Dark Magician Girl.
Yeah, the Japanese version got away with a lot of stuff. We had ours was toned down a lot. The Japanese version had a lot of very questionable things happening. This actually looks like there's some dimension here.
Yeah, I mean, by comparison, you can at least tell what's kind of happening here. So there's something emerging from the depths. So
Oh god, this is going to be Orichi stuff is just
okay, so this is
bad.
full on. What you're seeing right now is JC staff doing their own thing, independent of how the manga progressed.
But yeah, like here's what I'm going to say about that. Like it is so dark and muddy, like you could barely. It's almost unreadable. Here, there's something here at least. When I say it's readable, somewhat.
Yeah, that's fine. I
That's
don't really
fine.
see a
At least
problem
there's
there.
some. At least there's some light.
Yeah. This actually feels like Madhouse, you know.
Well, not as detailed, but it
Not anymore, but for a second there, it felt like Madhouse.
But look at this.
Like, let's just. I just want to take a minute and go back to the dragon. Look at his face.
I know people love it.
Snap into
like,
a Slim Jim. It's there for nothing. It just looks like one of those goofy mascot heads that would just blast out of the logo to tell you the slogan.
Oh my god,
You know,
it totally does.
Oh, do you remember that commercial with the lollipops that had the 3D monsters that were eating a lollipop? That's what that looks like. It looks like one of the monsters is going to be like, how many licks does it take to get to a Tootsie Pop? Hey, kids, remember not to drink and drive.
Oh my god, that face. Oh my god, that face. It's just. Oh god. That face is hideous. That actually. It's just the main thing that's a huge problem, and we saw it in My Hero Academia and Gacha Kuda as well, is the lighting. It's just all over the place.
Well, it looks like a Digimon. It looks like a Digimon.
Looks like a bad compared to what we saw in Digimon Beat Break. It looks like a bad Digimon.
Sure, like a Frontiers Digimon.
A Frontiers Digimon. Dude, like this is unreadable.
It is quite strange, I guess, that they didn't zoom in on One Punch Man for this one, but I understand what they were trying to accomplish. They were trying to do this, but it didn't work.
No.
Oh, he's unconscious because his eyes are X's.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they look like crosses.
Yeah.
So he's converted to Christianity. Great. You hit him so hard, he accepted Christ into his life.
At least there's a light source and it works.
Yeah, again, like this has that flavor of Madhouse where they were using colors correctly, not just throwing shit in there to look like Dan to Dan.
And there's an actual light source and contrast.
Nope, the dog's gone.
That running was okay. This though.
What have you done to Rover? He's accepted the Lord Jesus Christ into his heart. He's got to go get baptized.
Dude, you know what? Like, oh, this is where people were pissed off, and I don't blame them. Is that what JC staff is doing a mixture of retcon and redrawn chapters. And I'm just like, dude, JC staff, you need to make up your mind. Are you going to follow the continuity and do like the actual use the redraw and slash canon, or are you gonna just do retcon? Because if you don't like follow the actual canon, which is technically the redraws are what's canon, at least in the manga, then you're just gonna make everyone so confused. I don't like this angle either. This is okay.
Yeah. It's a goofy angle to begin with in the manga. They didn't really change anything. Yeah.
That's okay.
It's
dude, that's okay. It is okay. It looks better than I thought it did originally.
They look kind of like they were copy and pasted out of the manga.
They kind of do.
Like somebody went in with like Google Nano Banana and separated the character out of the manga and just put it in the anime. We appreciate that. It's what we want to see, you know.
Oh, go back for a second. Like, you cannot see shit from that. Look at that. Like, what's that supposed to be?
Yeah, you do have to look at it for a second to register what you're looking at. And you're right. It's because of the lack of shading on it.
Well, see, that and the lighting is all messed up too.
The shading. You know, the reason why this looks so dynamic and scary is because the way the light's moving across the top of this, you know, muscle, if you will.
Yeah.
The flame is drowning out your ability to see that, so it just kind of looks like ribs. It doesn't have a muscular texture to it. It's just like skin over bone.
Yep.
This has muscle to it. This feels terrifying as it's like jaw upon jaw upon jaw upon jaw.
And the mouth looks like a plastic. It looks fake.
Yeah. Another one, like he's eating another creature in the anime, whereas this looks like it is extending out of this creature's body. So
it's not censorship. It's just bad.
Yeah. It's just stupidity, really.
Dude, at least one of the eyes is glowing. At least this is
moving. This looks like a Digimon. This
looks like a badly drawn Digimon.
Of course, but
at least there's movement, so it's not like a PNG.
So this guy's like the Naraku of kaiju. Is that what he is? He's got all these monsters stuffed up his butt, and they leak out and attack people. Such a bizarre character design to begin with. It just keeps puking up more monsters. Yeah, that's not too bad. That does exactly what it's supposed to do. You know, if anything, they were more interested in lighting these broken floors in this building than they were in actually drawing the dragon or whatever we're looking at.
There's not enough black to break up the the dragons in the surrounding area. Like the main focus, it is fine. It just needs a little bit more black in the surrounding area, I think.
Or at least like a heavier orange outline.
Yeah, kind of to show that it is a dragon. Because right now it looks like a blob. Satama looks fine.
Yeah.
His head could be a little bit rounder if I got a nitpick. This though, like, come on. You can't even tell they're dragons.
No, and again, with the way that the blur is working, you're just not sure where to look. So you have like Rodan over here, and then some weird gargoyle thing, and some roadkill and a dead snake. There's not much like they just make the most bizarre color choices for this stuff. One minute the room's green, the next minute it's orange.
Dude, at least you could kind of see what's happening.
Yeah, this is better. They are making sure that the shadows here tell you where the bottom side of everything is. So that's helpful.
Now this is not very helpful.
No, and the same problem again is that you're just overwhelmed by the amount of red. There's just too much red. This would be a good time to put that stupid green in the background.
No, then it would look like Christmas.
Yeah, you're right, I guess. The blue then?
No, because then it would look flat.
The red's just swallowing it all. That's the big problem. You put in yellow in there, it's going to do the same thing. So maybe
same with orange.
Maybe purple would have been all right.
Or black or something.
I guess. Something like that.
Look at that. Like, come on.
It does look much smaller.
The many faces of Atomic Samurai. At least he has blood on his face this time, though. But still, it's still wrong.
Mm. Or chocolate sauce.
Or chocolate.
I'm not sure what that is.
That looks okay.
Yeah, I don't. You can make everybody out kind of, sorta, but I think that might have been where they caught this particular frame, rather than the failure of the animation.
This is original. Look at that. We could actually see him run.
Well, I just don't understand why they spend money on this stuff. Like it's really
priorities.
I guess it's real. For trailer fodder. That's why. That's what it is. They're showing him running because they can show that in the trailer. That way it pairs up really exciting. Then they cut to something else they spent too much time drawing. Okay, that's not bad. It's not terrible.
Can see what's happening.
Yeah, and now
we're probably not going to be able to see what's happening.
We're bordering into losing contact with what we're supposed to be looking at. And it's gone.
Yep.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah, you can somewhat see what's happening. This is
awful.
Yeah, this is awful. Like there's no blood, which the blood is used to help with the separation and the contrast.
Well, and Saitama's completely lost.
Yep.
There's just completely exactly. And well, not only that, but if you're going to do this in the anime, it helps to make the character you want to focus on closer. Because in the manga, you could take time and look for your character like a Where's Waldo.
Yeah.
But in an anime, you only get a few frames of this before you have to move on or do something with him. And so making him closer and giving him a forward light source, it doesn't matter if it's correct or not. Obviously, they don't care. But that gives it like that hopeful defeated the monster energy.
Yeah.
I think he defeated the monster anyway. This is usually how it goes. Yeah, the monster looks pretty defeated.
Yeah, it does. The lighting here is okay. It'd just be nice to be able to see like what he's fighting, or what he's defeated. But this looks okay.
It's just some scary, toothy, kind of sort of dragony
Digimon
thing.
This looks okay.
So, okay, if I'm tracking this right, the big mushy guy was a mid-boss, and now the dragon Digimon guy is another mid-boss.
No, that was the same guy. That was Arishi. That was a different transformation for Arishi.
Oh, okay.
And there's God. And there's King. King is looking a little thin.
Yeah, they flattened this one out again.
Mm-hmm.
They even changed the architecture completely as well.
Yep.
At least they added some tile. Wrong scene, but
the facial expression is just so flat.
Yeah, this one didn't do too bad.
The background's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Still feels pretty dramatic. I mean, the bloodshot eye would have been helpful, having some lines in there. But again, it's just too much to ask, I guess.
Yeah. That's like a huge, like, what? That background does not help.
No. No, and it's a really strange color choice on the blob as well.
Yeah.
Oh well.
That background is nice. I like that purple.
That's the fear. That's the fear thing. And this guy just died because King stared at him. You gotta love it.
Yep.
So there you go. That was episode 12. All of the horrors.
Yep, and there is Core 2. Part 2 is coming. JC staff is probably going to still do it, whether you like it or not. There's probably going to be, unless there is a miracle, you're probably getting the same production team. And it's probably going to still be the same ass schedule because for those of you that don't know, JC Staff, and we've talked about before, they put out, their goal is to put out like 10 to 12 anime per year. That is their goal. So yeah, they're probably not going to start working on this until probably, depending on what part of 2027 it's coming out, it's definitely not going to, they're not going to start working on it until like at least late 2026.
Well, I mean, it looks like here, like what we have right here, Zippy asks, how long until fans fix it with the AI? And I don't think it's going to be too much longer.
They already started.
Oh.
They already start. I've seen like fan animations and shit, but like, I don't know. I think a lot of fans that are doing this, a lot of it's very maliciously being done, which really bothers me. And this is why, like, a lot of artists, Japanese artists, are leaving Twitter because they don't like what's going on with Brock, specifically the new AI imaging update. Where they're heading to is very question. I've seen a lot of people encouraging them to go to like Blue Sky or Instagram, which is a bad idea because they are not artist friendly, as we've seen. Okay. Oh yeah, AI's. You're trying to find the tweet.
Yeah, I have it. There you go.
Yeah. So Boichi, this is the one of the mangaka of Dr. Stone. They straight up said as soon as the announcement came out that they were leaving, because what happened? Well, for those of you that don't know, if you're not on Twitter, what happens is there's this over the weekend. There's this, or like over the past week. A new button came up on pictures, and Grok is giving you the option to just straight up edit pictures. And that is not exactly a great thing for artists that are on Twitter. They don't like it. They don't, especially like mangaka that are posting official art. And Japanese, I know a lot of Japanese people are like, when official creators are wondering, is this even legal? Is this infringing copyright? And I know some people are like, well, people are going to do it anyway. They're going to use AI to do it anyway. But like to do it directly on someone's post, though, I think is kind of going too far.
There is a faux pas in doing this sort of thing. I work with AI all the time. And so, you know, it's not, of course, I'm not running around trying to change someone else's art. Right.
Yeah.
I am more famously known for just generating Power Rangers, famous, right? Quote unquote famous for generating Power Rangers, Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, of course, now Gavan characters that are, you know, wearing the armor and they have a different human inside of them. That's it. Inside of the armor. That's it. I don't genuinely try to go out there and dunk on these creators like, oh, I did it better than you or anything like that. I did make a joke that the characters that I generated to be wearing these suits are way more badass than what you'll see in the show. But I'm not going to go and like put that in front of Toei, you know? I'm not trying to do that. What I'm trying to do is tell a story about how I'm interpreting this stuff. As opposed to these guys that, as you said, are replying to the artist with, look at what I did. And I don't think that was the intention behind what happened with the Grok edit function, but it's certainly how it is going to be used.
It's already being used like that.
Right. But what you said about people just doing it anyway, it is true, right? It is true that that's going to happen. But what the other thing is that the copyright thing, it is legal so long as they're not trying to sell it. It's considered transformative, so that's allowed. But when it comes to this replying to them, that's completely unethical. That's, you know, you're going to have people that try to clone art. We had this, what, a year ago now, where somebody traced Dan to Dan art and just redrew the characters.
Oh, yeah.
And Afrocentric.
Yep, I remember that. And they sold it. Yeah, I remember that.
And so that's the stuff where you really run into the bad news bears situation where it's tough for a court to make that decision on that. And the AI transformative work and things like that can't be sold because, again, the AI doesn't possess a copyright and it generated it, not a human. So this is where that kind of copyright thing comes in, is that it doesn't have copyright law doesn't apply to this stuff until you try to sell it. So they're just going to generate stuff regardless. The other thing to remember is that this art was going to find its way to Google, which means it's going to get scraped and find its way into a data pool anyway. So,
but it's just the principle. I think what a lot of people are more annoyed about is the principle of it all. Is like the fact that you're just taking it directly from the post, like seeing that edit button on the image. I think that's where like people are just kind of like disgusted by.
It invites them.
Yeah, it invites them, especially when you have people, and I really wish that this was the case, where a lot of people don't want their art used for AI training purposes. They've specifically said it. And it's like, what, I don't understand why Elon can't just, create an opt-out function. Or hell, what I think would be a smart thing to do is if Elon created a separate kind of account for artists, specifically for artists, that automatically give them the opt-out feature. So that way they can still sell their art and don't have to worry about this kind of crap.
It's one of those things where you're not going to get it away from a training module because people will just save it out and upload it into the training module anyway. There's just no way to stop it. Again, even if you took like Alex Ross's very distinct comic book art, because a lot of anime kind of bleeds together these days. A lot of people trying to imitate previous styles. Alex Ross has a very distinct, he's the guy that does all the fancy oil paintings where everybody has the same chin. So that guy, his art style is very unique, right? And so it's very, very obvious to tell who that is. The trouble is that people do try to imitate him and get kind of close. So the AI will have false positives on this stuff, which will create a feedback loop where people won't want to use the AI generator, which means they won't have the money to continue funding these things. You submit your own art to it for editing purposes, which some people do, and it tells you this is Alex Ross's art. You're not allowed to edit this. There's the problem. So there's no way to prevent it from getting its way into the training data, but there is a way to do it, but there's just no way that the companies want that. But your idea about having this opt-out function with your uploads, there's already one there that says you can't download it. So I can't imagine why you wouldn't have one just below that says you can't edit it.
Yeah, like that just makes the most sense. Or as I said, like the other option would be to have a separate account specifically for artists. So like when you sign up, or have for existing accounts, kind of like how how Amazon has like business accounts or and whatnot. Just have an artist be able to like upgrade their account for free, for in this case, to an artist account. So that way their art is protected. And if they've been if they have to obviously prove that they are an artist and that they are, making money from their art, obviously. But, and so go through like a process, go through a review process and get approved. And once they're approved, then their art will be, art won't be subjected to the edit button like this. I think that's the best way, a more business savvy way to go about it, because a lot of these artists, because a lot of people were saying, well, why not go to Blue Sky? They say they get more exposure here on Twitter than they do on Blue Sky. They get like triple or quadruple the amount of likes and exposure here on Twitter than Blue Sky. And they don't want to have to rebuild their business.
That's not surprising. But again, like I said, just that simple no edit button function right next to the don't download function,
Yeah.
People are still going to save it, right click and save it and feed it into AI editors and things like that. But X won't be inviting them to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Works.
Yeah, I think that's what they need to do. They need to give artists or just people in general the option to prevent downloading. I mean, YouTube has it. Like for YouTube videos, for example, YouTube, like you can try and download a YouTube video off of Twitter, and it won't let you unless you're like a premium YouTube member. Then you could download it. But same with this. Like that's why I'm like,
use another method to do that. Probably some criminal would do that. Yeah. But again, like right here, I have the edit function
Mm-hmm.
right here on the regretfully I can't keep doing this message.
Yeah.
It's an era that a lot of people weren't prepared for because we were, a lot of people were told this AI thing was, you know, um, just going to solve science problems, completely neglecting that for the past, what, 15 years leading up to that point, we had glowing rectangles in our pockets that contained all of cumulative human knowledge we had there available to us. And mostly what we used it for was to bitch at each other about Marvel movies and
Mhm.
exchange cat memes. Okay? That's invisible phone, by the way. But anyway, um, so it was obvious that AI was simply going to be used for entertainment purposes. That's, you can use it to solve problems. I do, but the majority of people just want to go, ha ha, funny picture, ha ha, funny video. You've seen these ring cam videos of orangutans being sucked up into
Yeah.
tornadoes. I mean, that's what the GPU crisis and RAM crisis is facilitating, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing with it, not, solving diseases. Because again, that's not what the AI is being tuned for. It's being tuned for entertainment, not task completion. Because again, this is what we do with it. So Elon did this obviously in order to facilitate meme creation, not thinking that people would be uploading their own like personal works of art to this program that now invites people to edit it. He's only thinking like, haha, Iranians post picture. We will edit it. We will use the edit button to make it look like their rockets are rainbow dildos. That would be funny. We should make that a function for everything. So when the Democrats post a selfie, we can replace the background with a Street Fighter scene.
That
And
was
that's
like what? Like
the thing.
it's like what was he thinking? Does
That's
he?
what it was. It was maximum meme. That's what it was. Make the most
So
memes out of
stupid.
everything. Yeah.
So stupid. It's like, dude, do you not realize that how many artists are on your platform that
No.
use your platform as a business
Nope.
and also
I
make you
don't think
money?
I don't think Elon's even really aware of people monetizing his platform for anything outside of like pornography and selling MAGA related items, like gold and silver and hats. I don't think he's really aware that there's an entire ecosystem there. And
There
again,
is.
not that he's an idiot or anything, but I don't think he's like paying attention that there's an entire business ecosystem that isn't just artists. Everybody and their brother's selling something on X. You just have to
Mhm.
look. And I don't think he's really caught on to that because, again, let's say that Coca-Cola is doing this, already using AI for their advertisements. But again, they hire somebody after being lambasted, and then people just meme all over that artist's work. It's one of those things where your advertisers are going to end up in problems. In fact, Nerdigans, we should probably take a minute sometime soon, just for maybe the next weekly Weeb episode, to go through and find the sponsored ads for artists
Mhm.
and see if the edit button is attached to those.
That's actually a good idea.
Because if they're paying for an ad to promote their artistry, their art, their portfolio, their Etsy store, whatever, if that has the edit function on it, that is a big problem.
Mhm.
That means you can edit and distribute misleading advertising information made from the actual product itself.
And that's a
So
huge
actual
issue.
It is. Again, like you have iPhone on there, and if their photos that they've paid a lot of money to either have CGI generated or like these very experimental photographers to take fancy pictures with, they're not going to like that having a rainbow dildo just jammed into the middle of it. It's just one of those things. But thankfully, we don't have to worry about any rainbow dildos getting slammed into One Piece season 2 into the Grand Line.
Yep, this is the live action for season 2. We saw the Chopper voice actors at Grand Vesta, or I said at Jump Vesta. Also the anime. Everyone's calling season 1, but yes, the weekly anime ended yesterday, and of course, you got tourists jumping on board that One Piece ship as well.
Yep.
But Robin looks really interesting here. I don't think her hair's big enough.
Oop. That's loud.
Smoker actually looks okay, but Robin.
I'll go out on the board. I don't think her boobs are big enough.
I don't think her boobs are big enough either. That's the same thing with Nami. Her boobs aren't big enough either. That was my issue. I'm like, dude, what the hell?
It's
like, at
probably
least
Oda's issue too.
Probably at least give them like a corset or something to make their boobs, or a push-up bra or something to make their boobs look bigger.
Yeah, like she's just nothing's happening here. Like that's just you can hear the what do they call those? In the old West they'd have these
the
bushes.
tumbleweeds.
Yeah, you can hear the tumbleweeds moving inside of that top. There's just nothing there.
Smoker actually looks good. Obviously, Vivi is Indian and not Egyptian here, and a lot of people are still pissed about that, which I do not blame them.
It's just one of those things that Netflix does, I guess. There's a joke, there's a meme of like it's a donut factory. You're seeing a bunch of plain donuts on a thing, and it says before Netflix, and then they go through a chocolate spreader that chocolate coats the donuts, and it says after Netflix.
Oh God. What do you think? Chopper is looking like Chopper.
Yeah, can't knock that. Let's go be pirates together. Yeah.
I gotta give Luffy's actor a lot of credit because he actually learned Japanese to talk to Oda.
It seems like he's having fun.
He is. I think he's like out of all of them, I think him and Zoro are having the most fun with this.
Yeah. And if you had to ask me, I think that the guy playing Smoker, just in the few seconds we have him here, the few frames we have him, he's really having a great time playing.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's like you look at him, it's like, yeah, that's Smoker. Yeah. That looks like him. Maybe it's not as muscular as Smoker is, but like I could kind of get past it. He's acting through it, you know?
Yeah, but you could just tell by the expression on his face, he is in One Piece. He's not an actor just collecting. At least he doesn't look like it in these few seconds. He looks like he's genuinely in the world. So
yeah.
It's good. It's good to see. But, again, they did the right thing here. I don't know how he's going to look all blown up with his muscle form, though. I don't know. It might be, the CGI might be pushed a little too far with him for that. But we'll have to wait.
So this one, season 2 is going to go all the way to Alabasta. So, I don't know.
Will the giant whale have an appearance?
Giant whale doesn't make an appearance until they go into the Grand Line.
So we're waiting still. Season 3, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
And Jacob's here, and he says, "What the fuck? Nerdigans is wearing a t-shirt. Must be cold AF."
I am freezing. It's like 44 degrees.
Oh my! Surprised they haven't completely shut down the entirety of California for that.
No.
How do you guys survive? Gosh. Was that it for One Piece, though?
I think that's it. Yeah, that's mainly it for One Piece. What's the other thing I have here? Oh yeah, we have before we get into like the Hajime no Ippo stuff or the Hajime no Ippo mangaka stuff, we got to talk about IGN's blunder, because especially since we talked about AI. So we saw. Hopefully, we can have the audio on for this because it is just so funny.
Blood War's fourth and final installment, The Calamity, intended as the end of the epic. This will tie up all the loose ends of Soul Reaper Ryunosuke Yuki's adventures.
Wait a
You
minute.
heard that?
Adventures in the
Who's
Yuki's
what?
adventures.
Who's that guy? Let me just turn that up. Who? What?
Soul Reaper Ryunosuke Yuki's adventures.
Who's that? Who's that guy?
He was the Soul Reaper that we saw in the first episode of 1,000-Year Blood War.
So that's not the name of Ichigo's dad?
No.
Okay, just to be clear. Okay, so this is just some random ass character. Okay, cool.
Keep going.
Yeah, man.
In the demon-filled world he protects. It's going to be beautiful, brutal, and one of the most talked about anime endings in years. So make sure you don't miss the discourse and drama when the calamity hits.
If you scroll down, like the Bleach fans are having a field day with this. That's
protagonist.
That's Ryunosuke. Like
we finally find out what happened to his great journey.
In the demon world.
Yep, that's accurate.
Oh yeah, IGN deleted this too.
Well, good.
That's from the first episode.
Real goat, Ichigo the fake goat. That's funny.
See, look at that. See, they privated the YouTube video and changed Ryunosuke to Ichigo on the site and still fighting.
So I just don't know which AI would have made this mistake.
Like
that is a
hell?
crazy mistake. That is a crazy mistake. They must have asked it. No, because that would have given it away because Ichigo is the main character in Thousand Year Blood War. So it's not.
Oh, just in Bleach in general.
Well, still, I mean, they could have asked about they could have convinced the AI this was a spin-off or something, so it was thinking differently. But it doesn't. As you go through the episode summaries, Ichigo is clearly the main character, so the AI would have seen that. Someone deliberately told this thing that Ryunosuke was the main character. Someone deliberately told the AI that. There's just it can't arrive at that conclusion because in order to create that summary, it has to go through the episode list and the summary of each episode, which explains Ichigo, 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 Ichigo. It doesn't vary into this guy again. So they must have read a Wikipedia page, maybe.
I don't know, but like, who has it? Like, the thing that's just crazy is like, almost everyone knows that Bleach, the main character of Bleach is Ichigo. That's why I was so confused when I saw that. I was like, huh? Even tourists know that it's Ichigo.
Yeah, I mean, he's got red hair, and he's like one of only like handful of characters that have red hair in the whole show. So he stands out on design even as a protagonist. So again, like they had to have told the machine that it was Ryunosuke than it was that rather than Ichigo. Again, it's such a bizarre decision to make. They watched the first 3 minutes and came to that conclusion. Maybe
the Adventures of who?
The fuck is Inosuke? We don't even know what his name is. Can't even get his name right.
Everyone's dying. They're like, who?
It's like they do of who? AI? Yeah, I bet. What's sad is that I legit believed Kubo was setting up Ryunosuke to become a major character in the beginning of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. He would eventually replace Ichigo's role at the end, which is none of what happened. So that must have been where it got confused, is there was such a focus at the beginning on Ryunosuke.
But people are saying AI sloth.
Well, it is. It's obviously the AI created the script for this, and they just ran with it because there was nobody, the person writing the article or script or whatever, just didn't have. Who is this neighbor? it's the Rizzler. It's like a little Rizzler character. It's this neighbor.
Oh god. Oh my god.
It's spoiled see me the Soul King. Yeah, right, exactly. That's Kubo right now. Damn it, they spoiled it. All these years.
Rose said it so confidently, I almost believed it.
Right. Have I been wrong this whole time? Like you get gaslighted into like questioning the entirety of Bleach. Like, wait a minute, was that guy the main character the whole time?
Like, bro, what am I seeing? To like
Pikachu. Yeah.
Oh god, ain't nobody at IGN ever watched an episode of Bleach.
No. They they couldn't even Google it, apparently. Oh man. Who?
That has to be AI. Is this an outdated proposed joke?
Yeah, in a way, this is real.
God. Oh my god.
Yuki is the protagonist. Yeah, it's from another planet. He's from another universe. This one dramatically different.
Not even an AI summary could have got that wrong. Bunch of fucking amateurs.
That's what I'm saying. Like they had to deliberately feed that in.
Oh my god.
Yeah, save the day, buddy.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
and it's crazy. Why they keep using people that don't know about games or anime for those reviews? It's almost like they're just hired because they're friends or something.
The nepotism of it all.
Isn't that crazy? This is indisputable proof that IGN isn't a credible source for anything because usually it's bad opinions. This is just wrong. Yeah. Again, like you can rate Concord and Devil May Cry on the same level, I guess, and that's IGN, right? They can do that. But when you deliberately come out and like here's this 20-year franchise that many people around the world are heavily invested in and know better, we're just going to completely screw up the protagonist's role in that.
Oh yeah, the Kubo from his video interview.
Yeah, the
quality we trust.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, these people are begging to be replaced. Yeah, I don't think you had to really tell the AI that was the main character. You know? Just keep posting. Oh, God, what the fuck was that?
Oh, God.
How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
There were people saying that he was going to run for president. And I was like, I don't agree with his politics. I don't really want him to run the country, but I really want him to give one of those sassy speeches about something. I just want him to talk to a world leader like this. That's what I want him to do. Like, what the fuck? How could you screw this up? Like, he's at the Ukrainian delegation.
How do you do that? How do you do that? What the hell is going on?
Like he's talking to Ukrainian Zelensky like that.
Or talking to Putin like that.
Yeah, that would be funny. Yep. He wouldn't be alive for much longer after that, but I love these companies aren't even remotely trying to hide the fact they use AI anymore. Well, the AI voiceover, but again, like I don't think that was the AI's mistake. His ass about talking games. Imagine when they do anime. Yeah, right. SpongeBob is suddenly the main character of every anime.
Oh, God.
That's probably not a bad idea, is tricking IGN into believing that SpongeBob is the main character of every
Oh, my
anime.
God, that would be so funny.
Want to hear about Dragon Ball and the main character, SpongeBob? Sponge-Ku? Sponge Goku. That's what it is. Sponge Goku instead of Son.
You're too tough. You're wait. Shirakusho too clean. They'll kill you, Ryunosuke. He said it with his chest too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That whole AI chest. Why is Urahara's picture in the fucking Demon Slayer wiki? Do you guys change? Oh, okay. So
that's something else. That's funny though.
That's really weird that Urahara is showing up for that.
That is
Urahara.
weird.
That's weird. Yeah, it's just typing shit. Yeah. Can't spell ignorant without IGN.
Always
Nailed
been the case. They're just like this. It's just so funny.
Yeah, again, I don't think ChatGPT made that mistake. That was literally a dumbass.
And ran off the internet.
Yeah, the guy who did this needs to be tarred and feathered and ran right off the internet.
But something that's interesting that fans are doing, because Viz and Toei just can't be bothered to do it, is they are actually restoring, or in the case of Bleach, just like straight up cleaning up the actual footage. So in Dragon Ball's case, it's definitely this is Toei. So Cedar Might has been doing this for a while. they straight up color corrected Dragon Ball. Because remember, we showed what was it, a few weeks ago? We showed how bad the upscale was that Toei did for Hulu. Yeah, Seed of Might is doing God's work. They did what Toei refuses to do. And if you scroll down, they go into detail what they did. They did a complete comprehensive color correction for the entire series, including shot by shot while balancing of white balancing of every single episode, global hue shifts, skin tone fixes, de-bleaching, and more. It is crazy what they did. And people can watch this for free. You can read the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. The release contains all previous fixes, including IVTC, decimation, par correction, chromatic aberration reduction, chroma noise reduction, chroma replacement adjustment, blocking treatment, and grain retention. Now, the audio is tricky, so that's impressive they were able to do that. They updated the Japanese audio broadcast. Both our remastered Funi dubs are retained as is from our previous release, so they didn't really update those ones too much. The Saban Ocean dub is an edited dub of one of the first part of the series. The entire track has been updated with the Funi track to fill gaps. The original Funi dub track has been redone with elements from the singles, DVDs, TVs, VHS recordings to present this original version. That's rough. Our subtitles are better than ever with retimed lines, updated translations, and improved consistency. So we appreciate that.
So yeah, so this is probably, in terms of like a localization, this is probably the most accurate localization of the anime that you will get.
Yeah.
And it's free. That's the best part about it.
Oh, this takes me back.
Mm-hmm. They didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do it, but they did it.
So yeah, and remember to support JYSZE about
or Seed of Might.
Yeah, or Seed of Might, but he has his Ko-Fi here.
Yeah.
So make sure that you support these fellas as they continue doing the good work of restoring this stuff.
And then there's Bleach. What Bleach is happening with them, the fans are doing God's work because Disney Plus has the blurry version of Bleach on their streaming platform. They couldn't even bother to like even have remaster it or like at least try and get the Japanese version on there. They have the ass version of it. It's horrible.
That doesn't surprise me. Now that Hulu's gone away, they don't really have any competition in that market anymore.
No. Well, and also it's kind of Viz's fault because Viz has horrible anime releases. You have the link for it, right?
No,
I sent it to you.
I just have the one leading to Seed of Might, and then we had IGN.
Let me find it. Hold on, because I swear I sent it. Oh, here it is. Here, let me resend it here. I did, because I did send it. Here it is.
We'll be with you momentarily, folks.
Right here. Here's for Bleach. This is the info for what they did for Bleach, and then I have another link of how bad Bleach is. Let me just find it real quick. Where are you?
I have it up here.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me find the other one real quick. Where is it? Oh, here it is. And then I have another link after we go over that of like how bad Viz's version is. And it has, I think this one has like the clips. This thread does as well. No, okay. I thought it did. Or no, it has, okay, it does have a comparison. Okay. This is the other one. It has like some comparisons of how bad the Bleach one is. But yeah, so this one, the fans are have fixed Bleach. It features the Japanese Blu-ray canon episodes and our 2 DVD filler episodes, dual audio. And they do show, this has the differences, but like the other link that I sent, Cider, who will pull it up in a second, breaks it down like on how different it is. Like they have it like straight up listed. So basically, the line art is smeared and jagged. The shading is mushy. Texture is non-existent. Sourced from an interlaced TV master. Really bad haloing blur and line degradation, and bad upscale of standard definition footage with bad interlacing, smoothing, and sharpening. So what Japanese Blu-ray has is a clear defined line art, and it's crisp and not smudging. No haloing, which is basically the bright glow around lines. There's no waxy smoothing with denoising. Yeah. And HD detail preserved that doesn't exist in the other sources, and a true HD remaster with preserved animation detail.
There you go.
Yeah, you could definitely, like, after you read that, and then you can look at it, and it's like, yeah, you could kind of see it. And then I know, let me see if I can find the tweet. Yeah, here it is. Like, they also posted like a close-up to show you how like really bad the difference is. Like, you will see the difference. It's really nasty.
Just a minute here. And there it is.
It is blurry.
So this is a native shot. This isn't blown up in order to achieve this pixelation. This is a native screenshot from the quality they were working with. And of course, this is an improved quality version.
Yeah, that's the Japanese version on the right, and the left side is what is on Disney Plus. This is how
right here is Disney Plus.
And the right is the Japanese Blu-ray.
Right. And as you can clearly see that there is quite a lot of artifacting going on with what Disney Plus is trying to charge you money for access to.
How can you not see the difference? It is clear as day that it's very blurry.
Well, that's really what it is. Awesome one is that it's not supposed to be it is. It's the slight difference in sharpness that makes a big difference a lot of the time as we go through this, because I'll jump back up here to what they're talking about. This is the Japanese Blu-ray. Pay attention to these shadows right here on these jagged edges where you can see it, and particularly his sideburn. Just kind of keep an eye on that one. And as you can see, it's just the colors have gone muted just a little bit, but it's all fuzzy. It's fuzzy like a blown up.
I don't think you're on the. Wait, did you go back on?
I love it. So this is the right one right here. So you can see right here these jagged lines that I was trying to talk about, but I wasn't on the right page. And then there's the sideburn right here. So just keep your eye on that, and then we'll move over here to this. As you can see right here,
saturated.
Right, it loses some of its saturation, but also these become very blurry and rounded once again, and he loses the jagged edges up here in the nose shadow. And it's not like it's a huge thing, like people are gonna riot in the streets over this, but they are charging you a premium price for access to this stuff, and what they're providing you is stuff that could have been recorded off of a Toonami airing. So, from the early 2000s at that. So it's like on a CRTV, this probably wouldn't have been a problem. On one of the early HD TVs, it probably wasn't a problem. But now that we have Super Max HD Ultra Wipe Your Butt 2 HD, there's just, you can see every last pixel on these lower quality productions now, because we've brightened up the visual you're getting through the television itself. This is why video games that were meant for CRTVs just look kind of really rough on newer televisions, newer monitors, because they're not doing the blending that they used to do with the CRTV's lower quality. And as a result, we can see these Toonami rips, Adult Swim rips, wherever they got these things for the US Blu-ray release, they are in no way a Blu-ray in whatsoever, just only in their name.
That's Viz. This is Viz's Blu-ray. Viz does this all the freaking time.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating, and fans have complained about the Viz Blu-rays. They've complained to them, and they won't do crap about it.
It is what it is. A lot of these companies, the US market is just one of those, we pay a lot, but we just don't get a lot. It's just what it is. But you can see again, it's a little easier to make out just what it does to everything is that it zaps the color out of it and it zaps the dynamicism out of the presentation. It's less striking is what I'm trying to say.
It's kind of
And
like going
so-
from like 720 to like 1080.
Yeah.
Or even maybe like what is it, like 460
4K.
or to like 4K, like 720 to 4K. Yeah, actually, that sounds a lot better.
And again, like you can, it's not going to ruin the production. You could still make out everything. It's not like something that is.
So like when you're spending like, especially for a Blu-ray from a Viz, when you're spending like like $60 on a Blu-ray of a complete series, and you're getting shitty quality, like it's different if it's a DVD, okay? Because it's a DVD. DVDs doesn't have like HD, but like this is a Blu-ray.
And you're paying $18.99 for an ad-free experience on Disney Plus to have access to a Toonami rip. So I don't think that is right. Like I said, nobody's gonna die because of the lower quality. It just seems cheap. So
It's very,
there's
very
that, I guess.
But the other thing, and I think this is kind of a good note to close out on, is something that happened over Christmas. Is that the mangaka of Hajime no Ippo, George Morikawa, he just all he wanted to do, and he loves Gunpla. So something in his spare time, he builds Gunpla models and he posts about it all the time. And something that's been going on with the manga is there's not as many pages coming out. Chapters are, it's constantly going on hiatus. And a lot of, specifically, I should say, there's been a little bit more of like Japanese burner accounts, attention-seeking ones, attacking him over it. And he is straight up clapping back. He's like, dude, no, I'm going to build my Gunpla because it is therapy for me. And I'm not going to draw myself to death. And especially like force myself to draw. Because he wants to, because he's been, for those of you that don't know, Hajime no Ippo has been around for like, as long as I've been alive. It's over 1,500 chapters.
Wow.
Yeah, and Kentaro Miura, by the way, the late mangaka Berserk, actually helped Morikawa with Hajime no Ippo. So
What a surprise, right?
yeah, and he has his own boxing gym too. So he's doing that. So like, I feel so bad. He just wants to make his Gunpla on Christmas.
So he says, is it really that bad? From my own personal experience, is about 100 times difference in physical strain on my body between Gunpla building and manga production as tasks. And since it's fun, it's really good for mental health. I can't agree with forcing yourself to draw. I want to keep drawing my favorite manga for a long time, even if it's in a laid back way, while maintaining my health.
Yep. That's been like a new attitude we've been seeing.
So there's a person.
Hold on, let me say this. And we're going to see this too. This has been a new mentality we've been seeing from mangaka for like, I would say in like the last 5 to 10 years. Yeah.
I don't know. I really only picked up on it after Toriyama's passing. They all kind of became very paranoid about their.
I definitely will say
well-being.
it's since Kentaro Miura's passing is when I think it really picked up.
That's fair.
But yeah, a lot of them started really caring about their about being with their families more, and especially since a lot of them since then we talked about too are getting married and having like up to like in the case of Ninomiya, the mangaka of Bungo, having 3 kids. So and
So this
investing
person
for that. But
I'm sorry.
Okay, go.
This person replies to
Morikawa.
Thank you. And it says, if you say that, wouldn't it fall apart as a magazine if they didn't have to finish each weekly installment by deadline and everyone just drew at their own pace? Thinking about the boys who look forward to it every week, it feels a bit pitiful. Perhaps because it's so popular, they get forgiven for anything and end up becoming arrogant. And of course, he replies with this, Morikawa replies with, off the mark from the very start. The way that it's written, making it sound like
blank. Just go with that.
Oh, like a blank. Okay. Is pitiful. or as if there are victims is solely cowardly. Just write what you yourself think. My posts are also viewed by some extent by aspiring manga artists, so I'll say it properly. Above all, life comes first. When there's a possibility of death from illness or overwork death, don't listen to opinions from the sidelines. Spend that time resting, doing enjoyable things, and restoring your energy. But it wasn't over there.
Nope.
So he says, because it's Christmas, I'm giving an episode to those of you aiming to become manga artists out here, here and out, from here and out. Excuse me. Maybe it's not an episode, maybe it's a lesson he's trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah. Because he
Okay.
does this because as he said, he a lot of aspiring mangaka look up to him. He's an activist in that regard. He does a lot of work for the Manga Artists Association, and I mean, as I said, he's been around. Like Hajime no Ippo alone has been around as long as I've been alive. So, I mean, a lot of people look up to him. He's a fantastic mangaka.
He says, I don't know if it'll be present or not, so feel free to ignore it if you don't want to receive it. It's something that's been made public, and our generation knows about it pretty well. Chiba Tetsuya-san, the manga artist, is a genius without needing to be said. He has talent, is working hard, and is also a seeker of the path. Manga artists who continuously keep serializations going tend to become pretty useless in their 50s and 60s. My friends and I are like that too, and Chiba-san was no exception. After passing 50, Chiba-san fell seriously ill and was hospitalized. At the hospital, he was building up his strength while planning the concept for his ongoing serializations, for the sake of the people waiting for them. And then the day of discharge came. Chiba-san went to his workplace to pick up his pen, only to be stunned. There was no desk. The workplace was completely empty, and the staff had already been paid their severance and was disbanded. It was his wife's doing. I heard about this directly from the couple themselves. The usually mild-mannered Chiba san grumbled as he recalled it, and his wife said with a smile, if I didn't do that, this man would work until he died. Since she was the one who watched the genius who holds manga is endurance as his motto closest, her words are undoubtedly true. His wife was formerly a medical professional, and she must have seen through how the internal and external pressures of wanting to draw his beloved manga, of having to draw it, had pushed him to his limits. It was a bold decision. His contemporaries, fellow geniuses who worked at the same pace, passed from this world around the age of 60. His rivals drew until they died. You can sense the regret in his words sometimes, the frustration that he couldn't maintain the proper pride of a seeker. But I think the reason Chiba-san is a remarkably long-lived active serialization writer is largely due to his wife's bold decision. He regained his health while playing tennis, golf, and baseball, completed the major work, Notari Matsutaru. I think I said that right.
Matsutaro. Yeah.
Taro, sorry. And is still active to this day. It's wonderful. The ways geniuses live their lives are all dramatic and cool, but I still recommend health over manuscripts. While I see Chiba-san speaking at Manga Artists Association board meetings, I really think so. And it's vulnerable. Gotta love Grok Translate, man. Anyway, in the present day, where SNS has developed so much, the external pressures are even higher. Don't worry about it. Brush it off like trash. Those people don't take any responsibility, even if they harm your health. Health first. Otherwise, your protagonists and stories will get twisted. I've reached the age where my seniors faced crossroads. It will come for you all someday too. When that time comes, think this. I want to reunite with my comrades in arms in reality, laughing together, not just in memories. Anyway, Chiba-san is amazing. Anyway, health first. Probably no one's read this far, but sorry for the long post. That's all.
Like, that's incredible, isn't it? That his wife stepped in and it's like, nope, you're not doing anymore. I'm not going to watch my husband die.
Well, they're the ones that have to do it. I mean, work is what men typically kind of base our existence around. It's what we're supposed to do. And when we find something we're passionate about, we'll definitely die doing it because why would you do anything else, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing, I guess, for this to be the case, honestly, that these guys are slowing down. I know people want their stories and they just have no sense of like patience or, you know, that it's not real, I guess. I don't know.
Well, like
It's the
as
same.
I said, like the people that were attacking Morikawa, the majority of them, they were, when I looked into them, they were burner accounts, like people with like under 100 followers and like with the accounts created like in 2020 or something like that. So they were like, when I say they were obvious burner accounts, these were burner accounts looking for attention. Because like the majority of people you see responding to Morikawa and stuff like that, they're really supportive. The majority of Japanese fans or just fans in general, they're extremely supportive and they're extremely understanding of the situation.
Right. And that's it's the same thing that happened with My Hero Academia. People kept losing their minds because it would go away for a year. So
we're seeing it with Black Clover. I mean, with Black Clover, what happened is Tabata decided, like people were saying, oh, this is Shueisha's fault, the editor's fault. It's like they forced Tabata out. It's like, no, Tabata chose to leave because, and he even said in his note, for when he left, he said that he was talking with the editors for a long time leading up to his departure, because his wife had emergency surgery, and then his daughter was hospitalized, and then he was dealing with health issues, and you know and his daughter was young at the time, and he was just like, I can't do this. I need to like switch to a serialization that works for me, and so my health is okay, and so I could, you know, be with my family. And well, certain Black Clover fans are not happy about it. Well, the ones that I guess don't know about the situation or frankly don't care about the situation. It's mainly in the West that this is happening in. And some are saying they want they're blaming his daughter and his wife for Black Clover's ending being bad because it leaked. And in all honesty, I wish, because I've seen it, covered it. In all honesty, I wish Black Clover would have just gone on indefinite hiatus until he was ready to come back, because I don't think he was ready to come back yet. I obviously don't, based on like how rushed it feels, because it feels like there needed to be more content. But I think he just needed more time to spend with his family just to recuperate more. But like, there's the thing. With we see it with Ninomiya, like we've seen it like with Ninomiya, for example, and we're seeing it with other mangaka as well, is that the editors are way more accommodating now. I mean, look at Tagashi. Tagashi's the best example of this. Tagashi's health is so bad that, you know, the editors at Shueisha, they're accommodating him, and he said that, look, I got to figure out, I can't work like this. It's too painful for me to even work like this. I got to figure out a method that works for me in terms of drawing. And when I do that, I'll come back, but I want to go to a different magazine. And they're working with them. Shueisha does some really stupid things, like with their in terms of like their anime department, for example. But like when it comes to their mangaka, I think they know what they're doing in terms of their health anyway.
Overwork is a huge problem in office jobs. A lot of people don't think that you can really get screwed up doing that because you're just sitting at a desk, but a lot of it is because of that. And it's working through exhaustion that creates all this very bad chemical in your body, cholesterol that can kill you, all that jazz.
And not only that, it's also something that mangakas have said is sitting in a chair that doesn't support their back have caused a lot of problems for them.
Yep. Well, again, you're hunched over a page for 12 hours or more a day, you know. So, but you want to bring up the Gachi Yakuta situation?
Oh yeah, so we got an update on the Gachi Yakuta stage production. people are freaking stupid in the West. They don't know what blackface is. They're trying to distort. We talked about it. They're trying to distort the meaning of blackface. For those of you that don't know what blackface is, I'm sorry you don't know. It's basically a racial caricature. When someone of lighter skin tone completely darkens their skin to dehumanize a black person as a racial caricature. And they do the big lips and everything. What they're doing in the Gachikuta stage play, it's a spray tan. It's not even the actors that are playing the black characters in Gachikuta. They're not even close to being the right shade for blackface. So I feel like it's starting to get to a point where people are trying to say that anyone that spray tans is doing blackface or blackfishing. It's just unbelievable. So anyone with a tan is black, apparently, according to these people.
So this is a long statement that just kind of goes over what Nerdigans basically explained, but in more flowery, corporate wording. They did tag onto this. They said, "We respectfully request that all discussions regarding this production refrain from slander, from harassment, or statements that undermine the dignity of individual cast or staff members. The entire production team remains fully committed to this work and will continue to approach it with sincerity, striving to create a stage production that is inclusive and can be enjoyed with confidence by a diverse global audience."
But that diverse global audience is not even watching the stage production.
I don't think they can unless somebody records it.
Yeah.
Post it on Twitter, TikTok,
But this is so performative.
Yeah. The Western fans have a problem.
Quote unquote fans.
Yeah, I guess. But the Western personalities that are involved here, they have an agenda. And that agenda does not have anything to do with Gachiakuta or this stage production. It has to do with elevating their cause of being permanent victims over everything, everywhere, all the time. As Nerdigans pointed out, this is a stage show. This is, again, like people in China being offended about a Broadway show. They're not going to come over and be involved with it. That Broadway show is not going to go to China and bang, bang, bang on their doors and demand to be seen. It's not going to happen. But again, this is that bizarre situation where people who are entirely world away from a production that will never lay eyes on the actual production itself are choosing to make this a world-ending problem for them. So, as usual, geniuses at work. I hope they get paid.
Yeah.
For this. I do. They put a lot of effort in. I hope they get paid.
It's just freaking wild. These people are so delusional. And as I said, I think the most frustrating thing about it is that they're trying to distort something that is really serious. They're trying to distort history. It's kind of like what they're trying to do with the term Nazi or racist. They're trying to distort it and dilute it, which is really frustrating.
Yeah, everything is racist and Nazis, everything. Even the Japanese stage productions somehow.
So stupid.
But
so dumb.
we do have some more concrete information about Gavan Infinity, which has so far escaped these types of fans, which might not for much longer, but so far has escaped any. There's not enough diversity here. So this is just a trailer. We're not going to play the audio, obviously. It's a teaser trailer. Not a lot's discussed inside of this trailer. It's just showing off stuff. Gavan Infinity will be replacing Super Sentai in the 2026 year. Some believe it'll be occupying the same time slot as Super Sentai. It's still unclear if TV Asahi will be carrying Gavan Infinity or if Gavan Infinity will be on an entirely different station. But so far as we've seen right here, we've been introduced to the 3 different Gavans. This is Gavan Infinity. As you can see, he likes to jump around and stuff. And there's Gavan Bushido, and he likes to jump around and stuff. And then there's Gavan Luminous, who really likes to jump around and stuff. There's a lot of jumping in Gavan Infinity. A lot of that, a lot of jumping. A lot of 3D, by the way, a lot of CGI effects. People have been noticing that Well, they've been noticing that this has been replaced as almost, at least in the previews, exclusively replaced practical mecha. That there doesn't appear to be a practical mecha involved in at least the preview material so far. It's been straight CGI creations.
Oh, watch
I'm
people
not.
try and call it AI.
Well, sure. I mean, AI would probably produce something that looked like this, but again, I'm not going to complain necessarily about that. I don't think it's a problem. I just think it makes it look more Chinese than what they probably intended, because the Chinese really use the CGI for their mecha, their machines.
Yeah.
So in their tokusatsu, I don't like Chinese tokusatsu. It's very dry and dull, in my opinion. I don't think this hurts Gavon Infinity to do this. It definitely cuts down on their production cost. In order to do this, they don't have to make giant robots for everything, suits, you know. But it is one of those ones where I think they're going to come to regret it, simply because of the immersion. It just disrupts the immersion to go into like a PC game cutscene all of a sudden. But we get to see the heroes in their suits, a little bit of a brief description with them. So Gavon Infinity is working with the Immor gear, and these are batteries that are charged up by emotion. So not lantern rings, but kind of the same idea. Gavon Infinity's Immor gear is called Gakido. It's not clear if this character is going to speak to him or if it's just the name of his particular battery. I don't know. It's not clear yet. But these batteries also, it's not clear what they do. They appear to power the machines, but also power a finisher attack. So we're not really sure about what this is yet, but that's so far what we have on that information. Now, again, Gavon Bushido, I think he steals the show. I think he's the best design of the three, in my opinion, but that's just me. His Immor gear is called Kizuo. And this character is supposed to be sort of, his power is based on sorrow. So Batman is what I get out of that. Gavon Batman.
Oh God.
And of course, Gavon Luminous, which we've been back and forth on whether or not this is a lady, but it seems to be pretty clear that she's a lady now. So that's out in the world. And
oh God, you know what that means. You know, certain people are going to try and say that they're trans.
Oh, of course. I mean, she's not wearing a skirt. She's a police officer, obviously going to be doing a lot of confrontation as that character, physical confrontation. So yeah, they're going to do the whole Yamato thing to her.
Mm-hmm.
But her ability, her battery rather, is charged up by joyful energy, and its name is Kanki. Now, again, I don't know if these charge because the character is feeling joy, or if they are charged with joyful energy beforehand. I don't know. It's unclear. What is clear about this, though, is that these characters are all coming from separate universes. So as I predicted in my videos before, Gavon Infinity, the red guy here, is coming from a super universe, if you will, that contains all of them. And so he's moving through to solve crimes within the multiverse. Now, I don't know what a multiverse crime would be. It seems like that would just be crime in a universe. But perhaps there's multiversal criminals that he's trying to track down, and that's what this plot of this is. Because otherwise, that's just crime in a universe. Again, I don't know what a multiverse crime would be. Stealing the worlds, I guess, would be like a multiverse crime. I can't imagine, though. You'd just be stealing stuff out of the world. In any case, this character appears to be like the overarching character in all of the series. He's the guy that's going to have like the inside track on what's going on. He comes with the ship, the giant robot, all the equipment. And it appears that Gavon Bushido, much like Gavon Red, is, much like Batman, comes from a world of like sorrow and darkness. And I would guess like a never-ending night is what we appear to be shown as something like a very dour, dark environment, kind of like 90s Batman, I guess. Be more like that. There are heroes, but the darkness is winning. And then Gavon Luminous, she appears to come from a world of eternal dawn. As mentioned, her power is hope. So that tells me that she comes from a world where heroes are heroes and villains are villains, and there's no gray area. much like Metropolis, much like a Superman character, despite her using magic as her main weapon. So I like these designs. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's fun. I like that the magic character has like fangs. It's kind of fun. Like
Yeah.
a sun demon or something. I don't like the copper fate.
Dude, those look like freaking Nikes that he's rocking on his feet.
Yeah, she's they all have those shoes now. I think that's going to be the new standard in Sentai production because it allows them to jump around easier. Not that boots prevented that, but this gives them much more ankle mobility for them to do
Yeah.
like more moves and things like that. So get
So
used
they're going to be sponsored by Nike or maybe Reebok at some point.
who knows? I mean, I think it was Reebok that put out those Power Ranger, those Mighty Morphin shoes a few years ago. So those flat tops or whatever they
Yeah.
were.
Well, I mean,
And-
was it Reebok or Nike that put out the Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, there's been a lot of anime collabs with like Nike and Reebok, and I think even Puma. So,
Yep.
wouldn't be surprised.
And all this is a chrome painted shoe, so they can add on to it whatever they want. It's
Yeah.
not.
I mean,
it's not
they already have chrome shoes, so I mean,
This would just be adding the Gavon Infinity logo types to them. I don't think that's their goal with that though, but this is again, like I said, I think they're going to be more shoe based than boot based going forward because the shoes allow them more ankle mobility.
I don't know how I feel about that though. It doesn't feel very like Sentai to me.
I think Gozuger and hold on. And Boom Boonger. The last two here, Sentai have had the shoes. Separate like the leg armor, well, the leg design, and then of course the shoe is independent of that. And again, like I said, this just seems to be like their effort to give the suit actor more mobility.
Yeah, makes sense
but
to me.
these are oversized for her feet. I won't deny that. Those are some clod hoppers on that lady. These are definitely man shoes on a woman. But who knows? Maybe they needed to be that big in order to land all those parkour, stunts that she's doing. I'm not sure. Yeah, I agree. The helmets look fantastic. I think that they knocked these out of the park because they're all just very different from each other despite having a unified aesthetic, you might say.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that Gavon Luminous and Gavon Infinity both have the Gavon logo thing at the top of their forehead. And Gavon Bushido does not have that on his presentation, which again tells me that he's on the outs, perhaps, with his sheriff's organization, his space sheriff's organization in his universe. It's one of those things where
I think I like this one more because the shoes that look like it matches the blue on the pants. The other one, like I think the copper one or the gold one, the gold shoe looks weird, or it looks more like a bronze shoe. It just, I don't know. It doesn't look
it's
right.
Orange copper, it just doesn't, it doesn't pull it off. Like purple would have probably been a better option for this. The mixture of blue and red, but maybe that was their thing, is they just kind of ran out of options and fading it into pink looked stupid. So this is what they come up with.
Funky. Like if they went with purple, it would be like Golden Frieza.
Oh yeah.
Or the Lakers.
Probably still better options, but it does, the way that these gradients work is it does appear to be like, I don't know if you see this yourself, Nerdians, but I watch welding videos sometimes, and this is how some metal behaves when it's superheated.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. The red one looks great. I like how it fades into the silver. That looks really nice.
It's obvious this was the first concept, and then this was the second concept, and they were like, shit.
Yeah. It just doesn't work. It looks so weird.
It's really rough, I'll tell you. Maybe it'll look better when it's in motion, but for right now, well, in the actual episodes, but for right now, it's rough. That color combo is real rough.
It looks like there should be like purple or something else, or
something to break it.
Or you could put silver in there and it would work too to break it up.
Yeah, that's just it. I think that's just one of those ones where they were like, well, this works. We made it this far. Yeah, the silver and blue, like Gavan Bushido is definitely the best design out of the three in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah.
Just
That fade,
everything.
that fade from the silver to the blue looks really sick, and they picked a really good shade of blue.
And when you see him against the black background, like that is
Oh, that
just
looks so fire. That looks
it's
so
stunning.
sick.
It really is absolutely stunning. So
Oh,
and then of
thank
course
God. Oh, that shoe is such an eyesore. I hate it.
it does it just smacks you in the face. That copper just
Oh
smacks you in the
God,
face.
that shoe looks so bad. You might as well have just done a gold, like a regular gold shoe.
Gavan doesn't have Megazords. Well, it does have a giant robot. Now, people are saying that this looks like Megatron and Metroplex had a baby, and I
see
can't
it.
deny that. That does look like Megatron and Metroplex had a baby. So
You agree
I-
too, huh, Kitty?
people have been a lot of the fans are saying, Super Sentai fans are saying, put the Megazord back. It's not done. Needs to cook some more. And I have to remind you guys that this was the gun that Gavan is waving around. Gavan Infinity is waving around. So this is a gun. And of course, it's modular with those other those other machines that we saw in the trailer, those other colored machines.
I don't like how it's just all silver. It looks so plain.
I think that's the point is that when it combines with these colorful machines, they cross that threshold and provide the color.
It's so
So
weird. I don't like it. I don't like how plain
Yeah.
it looks.
it's supposed to follow like the Tegasword, where Tegasword is gold, and then they all combine with it, and their colors complement that gold and give it different modifiers. I think that's the point here is that this is supposed to have like a very basic look, and then the colors that are added onto it are the stylizations, I guess you'd see on a regular Megazord. So, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I mean,
It just
they
yeah, it just looks like an attempt to. Ooh, that background is sick. It kind of looks like
usually
an attempt to
ahead.
be like a retro kind of thing, like a
Yeah.
like a 50s or 60s kind of aesthetic.
Yeah, it does have that. Well, it takes us back to the blocky robots of
Yeah.
the early 90s.
I thought Blocky Robots is more like 80s.
Yeah, you're right. So, like I said, it looks like Metroplex and Megatron had a baby, and that's. I don't think it hurts it necessarily, but the lack of color really makes the base robot hard to enjoy.
Yeah,
So-
like that background is so fire too. Ugh,
Mm.
I really
The-
like that.
In these shows, usually purple is used as a negative. So, I mean, we have had purple heroes, obviously, that have purple accent backgrounds.
But usually they're
diminish-
darker. Usually the purple that's used is like a darker purple for the heroes, not like a lilac.
Yeah, yeah. And of course, there's the pink mixed in the background with no pink Gavan present. So this is it's interesting. I'm not really sure why they chose these colors. This does not appear to have any trailer attachment to it. This is a promotional image. So I can't tell you what's happened in this scene to result in this, if an enemy has been destroyed and this is the victory pose, or if this is the arrival pose and that's a nebula exploding to illustrate this character's power. I don't know. But for whatever reason, half the chest lights up, not the other half. And that's another bizarre choice that I don't quite understand.
There's a lot of bizarre aesthetic choices just happening in general, not just in Sentai, but just in general.
Yeah,
Like,
things are changing.
things are
changing.
changing. I mean, we're heading into 2026 and things are changing. And I don't know if they're for the better or for the worse. What do you think,
Now,
Kitty?
of course, me being me, I could not resist screwing around and making my own guys. So this is not real. This is not a real character in Gavan Infinity. I just thought he would look badass if it was this character. I just made him up. I didn't. That's it.
I
there's
like
no
the red
special-
background.
There's no trick to it. And of course, I had to go do Gavan Bushido as well. And I gave him a eye scar. This is super dramatic. Super dramatic. And then, I thought to myself, I said, if they're going to do that much orange, we probably ought to complement it. So I decided that Gavan Luminous should have like the dyed ginger hair.
Yes. Like that totally works. But
So
I
it
still don't like
balances it
those
out.
shoes.
Yeah.
It's not
shoes
going to
are
help it's those shoes, man. Those shoes just need to go to hell. I hate those shoes. I don't like the gold. I don't even like that like copper that's on the helmet either. I hate that copper.
It is a bit overpowering.
It's just too
It's-
much. It's an eyesore.
Yeah, it's Alpha Omega says way too orange. That needs to be toned down like 30%.
Like make it a Lakers, like, or make it Golden Frieza with the purple. Like I think that would just look better in general. Bring Golden Frieza to the Sentai.
And then I put them all together into this. So there you go. And I know Toei's crew is not going to be this badass, so don't worry. You know,
It's just that copper just ruins it, man. It ruins the freaking vibe. Like everything else looks great. It's just that copper. It's like why?
and then I decided I had to make a meme.
Oh
'Cause
god.
I just felt it in my bones. So it says, how many pizzas? And the guy says, welcome to Domino's, sir. We make a lot of pizzas here. Feel free to take a minute. And he interrupts him. He says, you have to tell me how many pizzas are in the oven. It's the law.
Dude.
When I finished generating that, I was like, that's the face of a man that needs to know how many pizzas are in the oven.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Gavon Infinity. I think it's going to be a rough start because they have a lot to live up to, 50 years of Super Sentai. And of course, Gozuju's not going to go out light. It has to do something to conclude the Sentai universe. So there's going to be a lot of bitter feelings over what happened there. Conclude, all right? It's not clear if Sentai's over forever, if it's just in hiatus. One side of the crew says this, the other side of the crew says that. We will have to wait and find out what their true plans for all of this is. But for right now, Project Red is an experiment. They've admitted that it's an experiment that they're attempting to conduct with the Toei Metal Heroes brand with Super Sentai flavorings. So if you liked certain elements of Super Sentai, those aren't going anywhere. The multicolored robots, what appears to be the multicolored heroes as well, whereas Gavon's heroes were sort of there was Sheridan, I think is what his name was, and Scheider. And those two were, again, red and blue, obviously. So we're keeping on with the color coding of these space sheriffs, but their coloring was less dynamic, I guess. This is a very overpowering red, very overpowering presence of silver, but blue too. And gold, of course, is part of this for the first time. And I think in the Metal Hero series, I think gold was B-Fighter's thing. I don't remember another gold hero. Oh, it was gold platinum in Blue SWAT. Blue SWAT. So I think that's it for the Metal Hero gold guys, though. They were like gold, not just having accents of it. So either way, we'll have to wait and find out what ends up happening with it. I'm excited. I think it's a good change of pace. I'm not too thrilled with the idea of this basic robot being the centerpiece to all of it. The big toy seller. But it is what it is. Maybe it'll grow on me after it has a few head shifts and combines with a couple of the other robots there and get some color on it. It might look different, more engaging. But other than that, this does seem like a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to what they have in store for us.
Yep. Like between this and, when is this coming out? Like in 2026?
Yeah, just in February. Yep.
Man, 2026 is going to be stacked. And next week, we're definitely going to be talking about winter anime season because it's starting next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
it's crazy, isn't
not too far behind it.
Yeah. But yeah, 2026 is looking to be really stacked in terms of anime. I am worried about, because I know people are like, for some reason, people are celebrating that Mappa has like 10 production lines. But they're shitting on JC staff because JC staff has basically 10 production lines as well. Because they're putting out, that's what it means to have like 10.
This is not the Cold War in animation that we need.
No, it's like, dude, no, Mappa having 10 production lines is a bad thing. That's like practically slave labor that's happening over there.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't have 10. Like, there's a reason why the average production lines that anime studios have is like 3 at most. Like it's like 2 to 3. So yeah, and that's why like certain studios, like for example, like Studio Trigger, for example, you get quality anime out of them because they have like 1 to 2 production lines. That's why David Productions doesn't put out that many anime per year either, because they care about putting like quality anime out. Bones, on the other hand, well, I found out that Bones, and I wasn't surprised that why this is why My Hero Academia's, and technically I'm going to include Gachi Akuda in this conversation as well. Why, and Vigilantes, My Hero Academia, and Gachi Akuda's production suffered is they were all working on them at the same time. So yeah, that's probably not a good thing to work on 3 anime at the same time like that. Quality's gonna go, and I'm really surprised by that. I really am, because you would think for My Hero Academia, at least for the final season, you would have like everyone focused on that. That's what I was confused about.
They could be using AI for some of it, but it's most likely Chinese studios that are filling in the gaps.
Oh yeah, oh for sure. JC stuff we already know has been using Chinese studios. We've had that confirmed for One Punch Man season 3 is the best example. We know that that they are outsourcing a good chunk of the art and animation to Chinese studios. Mappa, I'm not sure what's going on over there, but JC stuff I know for a fact they are outsourcing to Chinese studios. But still, it's still slave labor that's happening over there. We've talked about before with Studio 3, one of the producers from Studio 3, which is their newest studio, straight up said within the first year of them opening up, they worked on 3 consecutive animes and that their team was exhausted. So yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, having 10 production lines is a bad thing. And I know people are blaming, for One Punch Man, they're blaming Bandai for everything. It's like, no, and I talked to my Aniplex insider about this too. And they're like, no, it's the production committee. You got to blame everyone on the production committee for it.
So Alpha Omega asked, didn't Korean studios used to do a lot of the animation in the 2000s? Wonder what made them switch to Kamiland.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
China, it's a way cheaper to like get your. That's why like a lot of shit is outsourced to China. It's a lot cheaper.
Well, to begin with, they artificially devalue the yuan.
Yeah.
And so that allows them to effectively kill any competition in the region. You know, if anybody's got a deal, China can beat it because the government just goes, whoops, you don't make that much anymore. Millions are homeless, paying what little penance they can get, sleeping on the floor in malls across China. But yeah, you know, the animation's cheap. And that's what it is that Korea couldn't like last against the government, you know, like bedrocking their currency value in order to compete against people in their own region. So King of the Hill used to have some Korean animation in it as well. So it was the Americans doing it too. So I can't imagine that we're not also farming stuff out to China.
For sure.
Well.
Oh, for sure. I think some, I don't remember if it was some animators like it, was it at Disney? I don't remember, but I know some animators have talked about some studios outsourcing animation to China. I'm not, I mean, we already know that Avatar: The Last Airbender definitely outsourced animation to Korea, South Korea. I know that because they use Studio Mir for it, which is Korean. But I don't know if there's any other studios that I know Netflix, I know outsources all their shit to China in terms of animation. In terms of Western animation, I believe the majority of them are outsourced to China. I don't think they use Korea. If they use it, it's very rare. But the majority of it is definitely outsourced to China. Because Netflix is trying to save a buck while raising the prices fund everybody else.
What a surprise, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know who's not outsourcing? Nerdigans. When the show is over, where do we find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Nerdigans Inc., where we cover anime and manga every day. On Patreon, patreon.com/Packagirl. I have a video just about ready to for our guide for winter 2026. I recorded it earlier today. I just need to upload it. Where I'm going to upload it to YouTube, Patreon, as well as our coffee, and it will reveal which series we do plan on covering for winter. Obviously, follow me on Twitter right there, where we are covering everything. Bounding, I still have to finish my Jump Festa content. I'm almost done with at least 2 articles. I still have quite a few more to go. Oh God, I have so much to do. But anyways, other than that, we will be here, of course, next week to talk about, speaking of winter, talking about winter anime, the winter anime season, and even more shenanigans, and maybe we'll do the update. Hopefully we get like a full confirmation on what happened at the China's biggest anime convention, because word on the street is they've effectively banned any form of Japanese content in at China's I think it's called Comic Up, I think it is. And
so they just stand around and do nothing the whole time. Neat.
Well, they're trying to make it like a China only kind of thing in terms of Chinese content. Yeah, so like basically like Chinese made like comics and anime and shit like that, and you can't cosplay as Japanese characters either.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of vendors have pulled out because they're just like, we're not dealing with this. So yeah, it's really really nasty with what's happening in China. We're also gonna keep an eye out on the situation with One Punch Man season 3. We're not going to be like certain rage bait grifters and just straight up attack the animators, because we're not complete assholes. We actually care about the animators. All of us do. Don't be like, I'm going to say this. Don't be like these rage bait grifters that you are seeing that are encouraging or inciting and gaslighting you to harass the animators and blaming the animators and trying to say that if you do this, that it will stop One Punch Man season 3 core 2, and it will prevent more One Punch Man season 3 core 2s from happening. It's not going to happen, whether you like it or not. It's not going to happen. These people don't know shit about the industry. They're just trying to gaslight you for clicks and money. That's all they are doing. So please just leave them alone. Do your research on the industry. There's also various YouTubers and resources you can go to find out more information as well. We just don't want you to get gaslit or tricked or anything like that, and then end up in a really nasty situation.
Right. Well, and as always, guys, we're covering Gavon Infinity over here, and you guys want to see more of that, I can see it in the analytics now. So as soon as we have more information about that, we'll be back with that. And until next week, guys,
have a happy new year.
Well, I just want to say, we're not going to see you till next year. So until then, guys, good luck out there.